I should probably...
It's a very exciting stream. Does that say stay connected or stay contracted? I can't tell. It's very small font. My eyes aren't that good.
Stay connected if you full screen, because you can full screen, by the way.
You can full screen individual cameras?
No, just the whole thing.
Oh, gotcha. Hey, aloof puppet. What's up? How's it going? Welcome.
Oh no. Oh no.
Sam.
All right, predictions on what's happening tonight, on how it's going to go.
We don't start. The stream shuts down after trying to go for 15 minutes, and we go to sleep.
Okay.
Ruin lives and steal your lives.
I hate you.
Well, already
I was referring to in the game.
Oh,
sure.
Already the wrong title published. I don't know where that title came from. It didn't publish.
Hard choices.
It didn't publish what was in the Twitch. So clearly, I have to figure out which part of the world goes out, because there's the Twitch header, but the name of the broadcast studio goes out, and the header for Twitch didn't show up. So all I did was give the broadcast studio a generic name, just because I didn't know if it was important or not. And evidently it's important.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
So,
it didn't show up under my followed channels as streaming. It just showed up as under my online friends as streaming. And then I was able to go to it directly from there. I don't know if that's a Twitch thing or a StreamYard thing. But we're here now. Yay. Yay. After 2 weeks, man. Oh, so much. So many hopes and goals for tonight. And I'm sure they were all the planning. Okay, so I couldn't sleep, and I was tossing and turning, thinking about all of the things I wanted to do that night and the following day. So at like 3:30 in the morning, I got up out of bed and just wrote all of the stuff that needed to be done. Just wrote it all down.
Nice.
Doubt we'll get to any of all of that, but we'll see. Now Jason's just having fun with the layouts and the overlay. He's like, wait, you're talking. We could zoom in on you. I like this feature.
Yeah, it's going to take some time getting used to this method and setting it up appropriately.
Well, the really, really nice thing about it is it's just simple drag and drop click. You don't have to program all of the scenes and all of the different audio inputs and everything like you have to in OBS.
Right. No, it's true. I mean, and I just can't be quite as creative because I can't put... It's almost as if it's forcing me to embrace the minimalist philosophy.
Oh, you can't see me. Never mind, that doesn't make sense. I raised my hands like, hey, minimalism, it's a great thing. But then I realized the cameras are not on, so. It is nice that the chat is still live.
Yes, it is nice that the
You can still be heard.
chat is still live and we can still be heard.
Yeah.
It's, it's just getting used to things and getting them to work the way you want them to work. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. As you can see, once again, we're changing things. We are starting to use StreamYard. Discord has been kind of wonky lately. So, we're testing this out this Sunday and seeing if we like it or seeing if we hate it. I think I like it. It feels better. The weird part is the quality is better. So to me, that was a little bit more important for my players. It feels better in the sense that if a camera goes down, which Brandon's camera just stopped working, it doesn't break the entire screen, and you can see all the fun stuff is happening here. Oh, that's what I could do. I can now switch that. And unfortunately, StreamYard uses a very bright white layout, and I don't know how to fix that yet. Or if it's even a possibility to fix it yet. I'm hoping it is, but... So with that in mind, if you guys are watching us tonight and we are struggling to get this to work, please be patient.
Makes for good facial lighting.
Well, yeah, there's that.
And you sound fantastic.
Well, the other thing, too, is since I'm not streaming via my OBS package, I have no idea how everything sounds. I have no way of knowing.
I was just monitoring it on Twitch.
Yeah.
And it sounds great.
Okay, good. I have no way of knowing. That's probably a valid way of looking at things, Aloof. Very valid. Definitely. So I now need to get rid of this blinding whiteness. Oh, he hit the wrong button, so now he is back in. Is your audio working, Brandon? So far, I've not heard you. Okay, because I haven't heard you cuss or make any kind of vile statement in a while, so I wasn't really sure if everything was okay. Normally, I'm used to you cussing and being vile and destructive and at least 35 minutes late because of beer chores and getting beers.
You didn't want to waste any time today. Wanted to dive in.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't like the bright white. It's kind of annoying. And the only option is for me to switch to full screen, which, I guess that's okay. Except I got to remember if I want to change scenes up, I've got to, go to a different screen. But hey, happy Sunday, everybody! Because change is always a good thing, and there were lots of changes recently. One particular change is that my computer now works. If you can imagine that. It's no longer broken. That had become kind of a nightmare recently. The cooling system had failed, so my processor was purposely overtaxed and therefore was throttling in a downward motion and making it virtually impossible for the entirety of the the CPU capacity to be used. So that was the problem there. But we are now back to normal, and I have this funny feeling that it was never working. I think it was always about to fail because the overall stability of my PC feels even better than when I got it brand new. So I have my suspicions. It's all very sus, as they say. But hey, welcome to Debtors Gambit, everybody. I believe we are on episode 17 tonight. 17 sessions, I think. Holy buckets. Let me...
We haven't done it yet. Well, most of us haven't.
Yes, we are on
And we're still on day
17.
3 or 4 of the Rebels.
No, I think you finally settled
still
in
on
for
day
no, you're on the night of day 3.
Night of day 3.
Or the start of day 4, because day 4. Well, no, you're on the night of day 4.
Night of day 4.
Day 5 is the fight pits, which
Correct.
Gatharn has signed up for. So that's kind of the whole. That's kind of about what's going to happen tonight. We'll have to see how that goes. That should be very interesting. And I know we skipped last week because my system was down, so I'll try to do a recap that makes a little bit more sense with all that in mind. But before we get started, Shannon, tell us about some of the activities that you've got going on these days.
Hey, that's me. I remember that's my name and I respond to it appropriately. Things that I have going on right now. A little podcast called Ombligo del Diablo. Sam can shout out hopefully in the comments right now. Ombligo del Diablo is a Mage the Ascension 5th edition podcast. If you are familiar with World of Darkness, you know that Mage doesn't have a 5th edition, shockingly. So we take some Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition rules and mix them up with Mage rules and sprinkle a little sandy system on top of there. I had nothing to do with the development of that system, but boy, do I love it and want to rip it off for every single one of my games. You can find that podcast basically anywhere you can find podcasts. Other than that, we are live streaming our 3rd season, but I think that we're going to switch over to possibly doing Section 6 Season 2 on our Twitch stream, and that will be Tuesdays. You can join our Discord to get actual updates to that, because sometimes throughout the week things flux. Also, Section 6 is our secondary game that is being published alongside Ombligo del Diablo on the same stream, and that is a bunch of us technocrats that have done messed up, that are kind of, sort of, trying to fix past mistakes. Maybe an episode just went up about me. Well, not about me, but in which I maybe stood in front of a frenzying vampire and offered her my neck. Maybe that was possibly a thing that I did. At me about it. Plenty of people have. It was a mistake, but that's okay. We do it because we're a good doctor.
Things sound familiar. That wasn't in this campaign. Sounds like it was, but it wasn't.
Cesare, what do you got going on these days?
Not much for the past 2 weeks because all my games got canceled. So I've been stressing out. I do a podcast on Wednesdays. We release things on Tuesdays. It's called The General Adventuring Company. I play a Dragonborn Ranger Rogue multi-class. It's a lot of fun. You should check it out at TGACPOD. Let's get this game started. That's all for me. Woohoo! I'm on a speed run, baby. It's already 6:30.
It is. I know. But we could go a little over tonight if we have to. So.
Okay, good. I didn't want to ask because I asked last time, and I didn't want to ask again. But I want it.
And as always, we come to you Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, every other Thursday night, and Friday night. The schedule is down below in the About section. Eventually, I will remember to look at you when I do this. Everything you need to know about us is down there as well. Come join our Discord. And with that in mind, there's one thing we need to do really quick.
Roll some dice.
We need to roll some dice. We need to figure out who our winners are.
Who's doing it, Vince?
I think it's Vince's turn, yes. Go for it, Vince. Weekly dice first, and then weekly miniatures. Let's see who our winners are this week. Give Vince a little airtime there. When he's not delivering the mail, we're usually making fun of Gatharn, who's launching rockets. Launching rockets.
527.
527 for the weekly dice giveaway.
Thea with 603.
587.
Ooh.
Cassia with 554.
554.
I see a 549.
Yes. Stay Frosty Starboy. That may be our winner.
Looks like it.
No,
God, I don't
Omega
wanna-
Brony with a 443. Oh no, sorry, 4. I don't know what I'm thinking. I just want them to win again.
So what I know,
You
right?
just like saying Omega Brony.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Stay Frosty Starboy.
Stay
549.
Frosty. Yeah.
Nice. Go ahead and roll for the miniature.
Congratulations, you won.
Put that in chat
Ooh,
now.
that's high.
What were the dice this time?
Oh, 818. Oh, they were like the
Sebastian Thomas.
they look
Moore.
like the mines, like the actual exploding, like submarine mine ones.
Oh, see, that's
Oh.
that over and that's
Golden
that over and
cheesecake.
under because Emily Lestrange got 753, Sebastian got 866,
Golden Cheesecake with an 853.
851. I
Oh,
think that's the
851,
close. That's the closest so far. I think, yeah.
There's a 790.
Ooh, is there? Who got
Yeah,
the
Earl
790?
Dub.
Earl
that means-
Dub with this.
28 spots away.
Well, what'd you roll?
818.
Well, there is Stellis with an 828 at the top.
Oh. Ooh.
So I think Stellis is the winner on that one.
The winter winner.
The winter winner.
Honorable mentions to Omnion Booty with a 200 though.
Thank you, thank you. Appreciate it.
So congrats to Stellis and congrats to Stay Frosty Starboy. They're our winners on the Discord.
What was the
And if you-
800 number that you rolled?
818.
818.
So my dice roll was 831. I was like, I got an 800. I think I'm close. Nope. That was the other one. That was my dice. Would have been.
Sorry, Chaz. One of these days.
It's okay.
No,
One
you
of these
can't win
days.
though. You
One
can't
of
win
these
though.
days.
Why not?
One of these days.
I'm a long time subscriber, man.
Come on, man.
Oh, yeah?
Give me some of them dice. Well, he's already spent like a shit ton of money on dice, so I mean, it's an addiction. It's a real problem.
I'm a big fan
So
of the
let's
metal ones.
pull up the notes, and so
Wait. Speaking of metal ones, while you're pulling your stuff up, I have my black, very pointy dice.
Yes.
The pointy boys that are metal and black and silver.
Yeah, they have the
And
silver framing.
They do. And I got these ones, the purple ones that are kind of hard to read, but also metal. And hopefully they aren't too pissed at me for accidentally leaving them in my car for the past, 6 months.
oh, I'm sure they are. They're going to make you pay. They're definitely going to make you pay. So let's go back a little ways and recap where we last left off. The team had successfully rescued Omni from the Three Sisters. He had been taken, and clearly they were looking for the compass. However, compass had been swapped out. The real one was safe and secure. But we then discover that the compass was never really the target, as the team was pulled into Thorvald's office at the magistrate section of the Revel location, and the team soon discovered that in reality, Maximilian Wilhelm is the master spy ring of the Whispering Ear that has been spending a great deal of time trying to flesh out who they thought the spies were. Thorvald thought it was the four of you. Maximilian was not so sure. He suspected others, but it turned out that their little plan to falsify and convince the Three Sisters to steal the compass, well, they were the spies. They were the ones that they'd been looking for, and now have what could be best described as the fake compass. Also, a rather tense meeting took place between them and the group, and we learned quite a bit about Omni's now reinforced lack of trust. But we also learned about what Thorvald's plan was, and Thorvald's plan is to dissolve the guilds make mercantilism very difficult, if not impossible, to happen, all up and down the coast, and basically try to bring the Clovis Conclave to its knees and put everything in a better situation for them to be bargained, for them to understand the value of how important the guilds are and to gain that power back. However, he did let it slip that perhaps a little bit of vengeance and a little bit of anger over the death of his brother, Captain Trinity. And Tharivol is clearly planning something that maybe even goes beyond that, because his main focus had always been the flag. Copper Joe's flag is now in his possession. The team also gained a captain. Omni received the last commission of Guildmaster Tharivol before he dissolves or plans to dissolve the guilds. And
so does it actually matter then?
According to maritime law, up until this point, it's the equivalent of it being issued by the Clovis Conclave. Which is why when he gave it to you, he had offered you choices to either join in on the plan or go your own separate way. The only warning he gave the group as a whole was, hopefully we won't come across each other if you choose not to join our side of the plan. Hopefully, for whatever reason, and whatever choice you make, Thorvald seemed quite genuine in the prospect that he would rather not be at odds with you. But you still have the freedom of choice. You still have the ability to maintain your commission and work about the open seas, or join Thorvald. As all of you left the Revels and made your way...
it's like you're either on our side or you're our enemy, and if we come across you, we're gonna kill you. It's not like an actual choice.
It's a choice. Just it's an augmented choice. It's all about timing. It's definitely all about timing.
Or join and potentially die later. Cool.
The challenge is, as all of you make your way back to the Whispering Eye, which has been successfully renamed by Gatharn during one of his painting escapades, the team has discovered that all of this information, all of these potential threats, potential choices, are definitely up to grabs. But whatever Thorvald's real reasons for what he's doing, clearly he has no interest in the compass. His only interest was ever in the flag. All of you are now on the Whispering Eye. It is late evening. It posts all of your running around town, doing some last-minute activities, discussing. And it's the evening of the fourth day. Gatharn is already drifted off to sleep as he is preparing himself both mentally and physically for his fight that is due to come up tomorrow, as the fifth day of the 7-day Revels brings about some of the most competitive aspects of the Revels, which is the opening of the fight pits. Something that everybody is free to contest, or in Gatharn's concern, he is actually officially signed up, so he's already in the roster, and he has already been matched, and he will know who his match is when he joins in on the fighting pit. So with that, it's actually, I think because Jin has his moons out, I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of evening when you guys made it back to the ship. Gatharn has gone down below. The sun is set. It is the evening of the fourth day. What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to jump in because I mentioned at the end of last session, as everybody was clearing out of the office, I wanted to talk to Omni.
Mm-hmm.
The face that man just made.
It's just, like, not Omni, but Cesare felt like I was, like, being held after class and I was getting in trouble with, like, the teacher. It's like, uh-oh.
I mean, Medi could teach you something probably about stabbing people, because that's what Medi do.
Is that what Medi did do?
It's what Medi done did do.
Many done did it. Omni's just writing down notes. All of the notes that I wrote for the stuff that needs to happen that day and the following day.
Or just kick the door closed behind the last person.
That was
Can
just,
I ask you a question?
of course.
First of all, you seem kind of offended that I kicked your door. Sorry.
Oh, it was just repaired.
Well, I'm not that strong. I don't know if you've noticed. I definitely didn't damage it.
I go and inspect the door. Is it damaged?
Give me a perception check.
Oh my god.
This is how we're starting it off, guys. 12.
12? Hard to tell. I mean, it was never in that great a shape to begin with. I mean, the repair works that the others have done have done more to make the ship seaworthy. Aesthetics is not what they've been focused on. Hard to tell.
I'm deflecting, Jason.
Maybe. That's between you and your crew mate that is currently asking you questions.
As I want to do.
What's up?
Well, obviously you're not doing okay.
I thought I rolled better on my deception than that. We have a lot to do. I feel like there will be time enough for dealing with stuff once we're out of here.
You came over to where I am next to the door, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Can you hold out your arms like this? I want to make sure that you're not injured or anything.
We're fine.
I just hugged them.
Arms are like just pinned to the side.
Yep.
Okay. Will there be anything else?
Alright, so... Alright.
Just not now. And you know that like nervous
No.
knee bounce
Yeah.
that you can get like when you're just like trying
Yeah.
to put all of your focus and energy into like one particular part of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Just figured maybe we might die tomorrow. Or later tonight, I don't know.
Yeah. That's we're beginning to realize every day that that's a higher probability as this continues to move whichever direction it's moving.
So that means that you want to continue to push off feeling things until death?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
No, can confirm. Not good.
I mean, avoidance is useful sometimes, but not necessarily till death. I guess can come at any given point, but no, just I guess apparently until once we're out of this place. Never liked being around large groups, especially erratic, wild, crazy, inebriated, just all of the things that can lead to bad situations are in one place, and we're right smack dab in the middle of it all.
I wasn't really referring to the crowds. And I mean, I know a little bit, and where I pulled you from. Figured it wasn't particularly pleasant for you.
No. But it doesn't matter right this instant. We have a lot that we need to do, and we'll figure out the rest when we have a chance to breathe. God, I miss the open sea.
Expert at denying things for a very long time. It's kind of my bag. Eventually it just kind of starts to weigh on you and crush you.
How are we doing so far?
It's going to cripple you.
Hopefully just a few more days. Stormlord willing, maybe even less.
To be able to get out of here. Okay. So once we make it out and we're on the open seas and I come talk to you again, you'll talk to me, right?
Yeah.
Promise?
Yep. We'll
Insight
make a
check.
We'll make a drinking game. We'll make a drinking game out of it. Oh shit! Natural 20. It's not even like a persuasion. Or I guess it would be a persuasion versus a deception. Yeah.
Whatever you say.
We'll take a drink. You'll ask a question. We'll ask a question. We'll go back and forth.
A drinking game. Interesting. All right.
We'll call it a celebratory drinking game, since we'll have won our freedom, apparently, or hopefully,
Question mark.
maybe. We'll see.
Okay. Okay.
Jin, you watch as Clark goes walking by you. Omni and Medi, you hear a knock at the door.
Captain, can I have a moment, please?
Yep.
Door opens. Clark, the orc, steps through. Sees the two
Are
of
you
you
still
standing
hugging
there.
me? Oh, okay.
No, I let go after you're like,
I was just thinking that maybe that would have been that whole conversation. I'm just like, cool. Yes, Clark. What's up?
Captain, thought.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of thoughts. I'm pretty stoic and stay within my, how shall they say, where I'm required. I know that you gave us that little speech the other night, and I appreciate it. I know both the Goliaths appreciated it as well. The crew as a whole definitely appreciated it, but I was curious.
That was like 30 minutes ago, the other night.
Was it? I thought it was last night. Was that tonight that you?
That was earlier.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Captain. I've been drinking heavily.
I was thinking about what I was saying, what I had said a previous night. I was like, what did I say to them? Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I've been drinking. So I apologize.
It's all right.
You know, you did give us the night off, so
Yeah.
I might have gotten a little too deep in the barrel, as they say.
Okay.
So, considering what happened the other night, I was wondering. I know we all have our choices to make, and the crew's going to stick with you, Captain. There's no doubt about that.
He kind of side eyes over at Medi. No one's ever really comfortable standing near Medi. I mean, they always kind of have this weird, strange kind of like tell.
Person, like,
yeah, I mean, and you know, for you, Medi, you begin to realize that Clark did watch you drink people. So he was near that battle at the time. So he's clearly got his own insights and probable understanding of what's going on. The door's not closed, so Jin, you can see the door's kind of slightly open. Medi, Omni, and Clark are having this conversation, and the sound of it's drifting out. The crew is, you know, they're busy enjoying the evening off that they've been given, and they're either just kind of drinking or haphazardly having conversations on the deck of the ship. Clark definitely looks worried.
Captain, my combat skills are not exactly as good as you and your friends are. I watched you all fight on that ship, and I'm not gonna lie. Watching Gatharn's temper concerns me. There seems to be two Jins, if I'm reading that correctly. Daytime Jim seems really flaky. Nighttime Jin seems dark as fuck. At some point, Captain, I was wondering if we could start some kind of training regimen for me and the rest of the crew. We all have our basic reality and understanding of what we can do, but I feel like those of us that don't feel quite like professionals could learn from some of you, if you catch my meaning, sir.
Whoever said that you don't have good ideas, Clark, or that it's not your strong suit, we would not agree with them. That is a very wise and astute observation and suggestion. Who would you feel comfortable? Who would you want to be your primary instructor?
Well,
I could show you how to slit a man's throat in his sleep.
well, no, I prefer a straight-up fight, toe-to-toe, as they say.
Well, you're probably not going to win that one.
Well,
It's a fair point, Mehdi.
Why would you not catch him unawares?
Well, I suppose we could learn some of those skills, but, you know, if we're going to be out at sea and we have to deal with situations, formally there aren't actually any pirates left. But if rumors are true, and I'm not saying they are, but, you know, they talk. And if it's true that Tharivol plans on dissolving the guilds, well, the only way these privateers are going to be able to make money is raiding and, well, going back to piracy. You know, so activities like boarding parties and raiding villages and stuff like that. If we decide not to go that route, which we've all agreed to go the route that you choose, Captain, and you and the other officers make that decision, those are the skills I'm proud. Look, bar fights, sneaking into bedrooms and slitting throats, sure. We could always take the time out to learn stuff like that, but I'm just saying.
The fighting styles that will be applicable to where we are on our journeys.
Yeah, I think so. Like, honestly, sir, I have no idea how to throw a grappling hook. I don't know what to do with a boarding party other than serve it drinks and, you know, have a good time.
Fair.
I don't. What I'm saying, sir, is I'm good at the one thing I promised you I'd be good at, which is managing the crew and keeping the crew in shape and making sure the ship floats. And whether or not... Look, the Goliaths are brute force strength. There's no doubt about that. Intelligent as fuck. Even for Goliaths, I mean, I could probably state that safely. But
Seems like a generalization, but okay.
Well, I mean, if you're okay at very few things, but you could still break somebody's neck with a rather large arm, they, you know... I mean, I'm no fool, but I personally wouldn't want to get in a fight with him. Gatharn looks like the type that just picks fights for the brevity of picking fights.
Yeah, he loves it.
Yeah, So, yeah, that's just part of my concern, Captain. I probably completely unrelated and not required, but something to maybe give the crew to focus on and get their hands around would be nice.
It's a good idea. Once we're in ship shape and heading out of here, we'll definitely start getting to work on that.
Good, Captain. Well, I'll take my leave, sir. And he kind of doffs the thing and, you know, goes out the door. Makes a purposeful kind of wide, you know, walk around Jin. You guys can see Jin is out on deck. The two of you down below, you know, in the captain's quarters. You can see Jin kind of lingering up above deck. The crew is kind of milling about, doing odd jobs or just drinking from the till and enjoying their evening of grog and relaxation at this point.
Who was cooking tonight? Because if I recall correctly, Gatharn had asked everybody if they can cook, and we were gonna have like a cook-off to see if anyone in particular was really good.
Good question.
Jin's gonna hop in the kitchen real quick.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Yeah, because the sisters said that they could cook. Stitches said that he absolutely loves to cook. Gromit said we was terrible. Same with Crooked Face. Crooked Face can do a stew, but we want to get Gatharn a good hearty meal, you know, so he's ready to go for the fights tomorrow.
Yeah, so Jin's gonna go in the kitchen.
Oh, this should be fun. Jin, you make your way into what best looks like a kitchen. And when you're in there, old Crooked Face, the hobgoblin, is already in there and kind of piling up stores and small boxes. The space itself isn't really all that big. You're looking around. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you kind of take in this kind of ad hoc kitchen solution.
Oh no.
Every single time I roll a perception check. Nat 1.
He's like, where are the knives?
Yeah, looking around, I mean, it's hard to believe this is going to be a kitchen. You're not entirely sure, you know, you're like looking around going, what the fuck? And then the old Crooked Face kind of, oh, sorry, sir, didn't see you there. I'm just trying to get things organized. Terribly sorry to bother you, sir. And you watch as he kind of puts down the stores and begins to leave the kitchen.
No. You're fine where you're at.
Oh, okay.
What's the inventory looking like, Crooked Face?
Well, I'm onions, potatoes, rations of pork and bacon, some old hard cheese, tack bread, nothing fancy, grains and beans. Everything you need to be at sea, sir. Just, the basics. I think Nala and Brackish are still trying to gather up more fresh stores, but we've heard that ships have been leaving early, and they're filling up their holds rather large for long journeys, so food's a bit difficult to get our hands on right now.
Where are the lemons and the limes?
Oh, sorry, sir. I don't think we could get those.
You're all going to die of scurvy.
Well, that's what these are for, sir. And he kind of points over to a big barrel of pickled peppers.
Who got these? Peter?
I don't know who Peter is, sir, but it sounds like a funny joke.
It's not.
Oh.
You haven't met Peter?
Or Paul.
You see, you're all funny, Crooked Face.
Well, I heard it's an old
fuck
song.
Out of my kitchen.
Yes, sir. He kind of like turns and immediately gets out of the kitchen.
Stupid.
You just hear him kind of. You just hear him yell outside the door, above deck at the other crew.
Who the fuck is Paul? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I look around, see the supplies, and like, I can't work with in these conditions. This is inappropriate. And I get back on deck. Somebody come in here and make some food for Gatharn. Does anybody volunteer?
You watch as the two sisters kind of look at each other and then look at you and shrug their shoulders and go, okay, it's probably going to be his last meal anyways. Might as well make it tasty.
I like your spirit.
Oh, well, you're terrifying. And they walk right past you and into the kitchen down below.
That's fair. I'm going to walk into the Revels.
Okay. Make your way down the gangway and into the familiar expansion of the now busy area of the Revels. Let's go ahead and bring up the
Was
appropriate
Amanda
map.
or Brenda the druid?
Amanda.
Of the two sisters. You
Amanda.
said one of them, Amanda, was a druid? What?
Yeah, one of them
Brenda?
had. You're not really sure. Brenda appeared to be roguish in nature,
Okay.
but you get the feeling that Amanda was someone who seemed knowledgeable in druidic
Some
understanding.
magics.
Yeah.
Cool.
And as always, Jen, leaving the wharf section, making your way out into the Revels. Is there a particular area that you want to try to get to?
Where do I think the hawk would be right now?
Ooh, give me an insight check.
Insight. Not
He's a
bad.
spy.
Not bad. 17.
17. You know the fights are tomorrow, so chances are there's lots of betting going on right now. You get the distinct impression that heading to the den would be your best possible opportunity for trying to find
Okay.
the hawk.
I'll head into the den.
Or Maximilian, however you choose to refer to him.
Mhm. I'll walk into the den.
Okay, making your way to the den. Omni and Medi, what are you doing with your time?
I mean, volunteering to help with this whole training program. With, like, the most, like, devious, like, Grinch smile. Just get something off your plate, maybe.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, that'll be great.
I don't know why you say, huh? Like, you're so fucking shocked that I would assist you.
No, I just don't think that'll start up tonight, as they've
Well,
already
no,
been
but-
drinking. But
Notes and...
oh, no,
see,
for sure,
no.
for sure.
But if they've been drinking, that's the best time to start. Make sure they're always aware, prepared.
Okay.
I'm
Maddie,
kidding. We've
don't
been in
kill
a lot of
anybody
fights
on-
recently.
Yeah,
No, we've been in a lot of fights recently. They need a night.
yeah, we don't need anybody dying tonight.
Ah,
Damn it! I said it. Now, shit. Okay.
you have, in fact, cursed us, yes.
Great. I want to find out if Gronk, the orc. Well, first,
That's the one you let go.
yeah, we weren't sure if we hadn't done that yet.
Oh, that's true.
Everybody-
You said you were
yeah.
thinking of letting Gronk
Yeah.
and the two goblins go. That's right.
Yeah, so Omni would handle that, regretfully dismiss the goblins and Gronk as well, but prior to having him, or in telling him that we won't be having him on the ship, also see if alternative employment might be something that they're interested in. We wanted to get them signed up for the fight pits as well and put some money down on them, and maybe potentially talk to them about killing some people. Just in passing, little conversation, that's all, nothing.
Making your way up on the deck of the ship, you can see the two goblins are leaning up against the grog barrel, dipping their little tin cups down into the barrel, pulling out fresh doses of grog and pouring it down their gullets and kind of laughing with each other. And they kind of see you staring at them, and they kind of stare back at you and make eye contact for a moment. And the goblin's like, sorry, Captain, is this something we could do for you?
Just wanted to, unfortunately, let you two know that tomorrow you won't be on the ship anymore, but tonight will be your last night. Please continue to enjoy, eat, and drink to your satiation, but yeah, we won't be asking you to go with us moving forward.
Oh, well, okay. But we could stay tonight, though, right?
Of course.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That's good to know.
If you want to enjoy the revels, I mean, by all means, you don't need to.
Oh, we will.
remain.
We'll definitely enjoy the revels. That's no problem. I just wanted to make sure that you're okay with us after firing us, that we stay on board. That's just double checking.
Should we be concerned?
Well, I don't know.
Have you seen what the crew and I are capable of? Do we have anything to fear from you?
No, I don't think so. Just kind of a strange decision. Usually we just get tossed off. They grab us by our asses and just throw us right over the rail. So this is... I know it's hard to tell. Well, I know it's hard to tell with us goblins, but this is our surprised face. This isn't our angry face. This is our surprise face. If that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. We don't feel as if there's anything to fear, and we are eliciting an act of trust, if that makes sense. So, don't do anything to break it, and we won't have to kill you.
Oh, well. Absolutely, sir.
And they kind of laugh and go back to just dipping their cups into the grog barrel, go back to drinking. You can see Kronk over near one of the railing. He's currently sharpening his blade and just kind of leaning against the railing and he looks up.
Yes, Captain. What can I do for you?
You mentioned you really enjoy killing. And
Well, just one of the things I'm born naturally to do so well.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know of the three sisters?
I'm aware of who they are, yeah. The word of their exploits has gotten around. My understanding is they work for the Hawk.
Are you aware of their capabilities? Do you think if you were able to get one of them alone individually without her sister's support and backup that you would be able to take care of her?
Take care of her how, sir?
Kill her.
What do you mean? Oh, you'd like me to kill her?
Well, I'd
It's
say
kinda
all three
chewy.
of them, but unfortunately, don't think that would be within your realm of capabilities. Nothing against you personally. It's just that the three of them are, I don't know, maybe level 9.
I don't know what levels mean, sir. Is that the
9,
floor they're
15. They're definitely higher than us. So I thought we were at 5 for a second. I was like, oh no, we're 8. So they're at least like 15.
Sir, you're speaking words that are unknown to me, but
Yeah.
I suppose, do you happen to know where they are, or should I just go looking for them?
Well, they are probably currently on the run, kind of in hiding for a bit. This isn't necessarily like a point at them and you go do it type of thing. This is more of a find them out, kill them, bring us proof, and we'll pay you type of situation.
Well, I think I understand what you mean, sir, but just so that I'm completely clear on what you want me to do, you want me to track down one of the three sisters. Whichever one I track down, that's the one you want me to kill. You actually don't care which one it is.
Oh no, we want you to track down all 3 of them, separate and isolate one of them, kill them off one at a time. This isn't a go in wailing and think you're going to survive type of situation. You need to isolate them in order
Give
to
me
stand a
persuasion.
chance.
Give me a persuasion check really quick.
Okay.
I mean, he's brute force, but
18.
Well, I do love a challenge, sir. Shall we settle on a reward then for accomplishing the task?
1,000 gold ahead.
Absolutely, sir. I can accomplish this task for you. How do I get in touch with you? Do you know what port of harbor you and your mates will be going to? Because if I end up tracking them down off in some other location, I'll need to know at least a basic understanding of how to find you, sir.
I'm like thinking about what spells I don't have currently, but might be getting soon-ish.
Well, do you plan on being in either Port Damali, Nicodranus, or some of the other major ports. I mean, if you plan on stopping off in those ports, I could probably try to track you down, sir.
Would we have to, out of game, would we have to stop in those ports? Should we choose to not go with Thorvald if we were just like heading out? Or is it more like if we head out to sea, there's nothing else in the way?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about resupply, keeping the ship in shape, and wherever the winds take you. I mean,
so we'll end up needing to touch those areas at some point.
Yeah, I mean, if you go independent, as long as you avoid Thorvald's plan,
gotcha.
You know, you can make a living.
Yeah.
It's just a matter.
Well, how about this, sir? Like you said, they're probably on the run, so chances are they're not in the Revels. I'll start by tracking them, trying to figure out where we think they might have gone. I may have access to a tool that may aid me in this discovery as well. Could you write down a solid description of them for me, sir? A good drawing, perhaps.
Definitely. Aside from that, are you entered into the fighting pits?
Oh no, sir. Morecambe always wins. No one would be stupid enough to go against him.
Morecambe?
Yeah, Morecambe. He's a rather large minotaur. Quite fucking scary, to be honest with you. Stands roughly 10, 12 feet in height. Quite a brutish monster. He serves on the personal retinue of Thorvald. He wins almost every year.
But he's fight in one of those other fights? Is it like a tier tournament?
No, not really. I don't really know how to write, sir, so I can't really sign up. But yes, during the night of the fights tomorrow, or during the day, the fights do go on all day. If you're challenged and you accept the challenge, then they let you fight in the pit. I may participate in some of those if anything presents itself, but with all the rumors swirling about, this Revels feeling a bit, unnerving. I'm kind of glad you came up with this plan for me, sir. I've been thinking heavily on getting off the Revels as soon as possible and making my way. But now you've given me something to focus on, so I do appreciate that.
As you are on your hunt, while we won't have you on the ship directly, the work that you will be doing will definitely be helpful to us. Should you choose to enroll in any of the fights, or if you are challenged and accepted, if any fees are required, just let me know. We will cover them.
Gambling fees are what they are. If I'm challenged, I have coins, sir. I can manage, but I appreciate that.
Let us know if you are challenged. We'd like to put some money on you as well.
If you don't hear from me in the next few days, sir, I'll be in Nicodranus in a month or so.
We'll meet back then.
You watch as he picks up his kind of like grungy old rucksack, puts it over his shoulder. Both blades go down. You watch a knife go into his belt that he was sharpening. An axe kind of swings across the backside of his back. And
this is one of the nice things about not being affiliated with a ship, sir. I can carry my weapons. I just got to go stow them.
You watch as he just kind of looks and smiles at everybody and ruffles the thin hair of the two goblins and makes his way down the gangway.
I'm gonna be honest, I like that guy.
Jin, as you make your way through the den, it's always easy to spot. It's never too difficult. There are dice games, card games going out all over the streets and in the alleyways. There's a handful of small and mediocre taverns. There's the, I think the Tilted Sail, or the one that Catharn always goes to.
The Hoisted Sail.
Hoisted Sail, thank you. The Hoisted Sail is... Yeah, see, I actually did write that down. The Hoisted Sail seems to be where the main body of the activity is. It's particularly busy tonight. There are queues and lines of people everywhere talking excitedly about not only all the rumors that you've confirmed via Tharivol and the meeting that you and your team have had. But it appears that the most heavy bets going on tonight are for the fights tomorrow. There is a registry list that has been posted for the matching. And as you kind of stand there looking at the great painted billboard with all the names, you see, your passive would be high enough for this. You see Morecambe matched with Gatharn. The odds are currently 198 to 1. And people are staring at the board, and kind of there's coins being, kind of rattled into empty palms. People stare at you, then quickly turn away from you in kind of like nervous chatter, not really wanting to be nearby you, walking away. You can hear voices. There's one voice in particular you hear quite loudly. Well, I tell you what, it is going to be some fun tomorrow, as you hear the Hawk or Maximilian, however you choose to call him, is clearly having a loud conversation with somebody deep into the interior of the Hoisted Sail Tavern.
I'll make my way gently towards that voice.
Give me a perception check as you make your way into the crowd.
Yeah, our natural one's gonna come. Watch. Not that bad. It's 9.
So
Shoulders.
Would you say you were making your way?
No. No, we're not.
You said gently.
The shoulders and elbows run into each other. It's crowded in here, but you don't see anything particularly out of the ordinary, other than a very large, massive specimen of a minotaur. He is leaning onto an impossibly small bar, and next to him, you watch as the Hawk just kind of grabs his elbow, gives him a big smile, and then kind of turns. And as he's turning to walk away from this huge minotaur, he stops. Oh, well, Master Jin, how are you? What can I possibly do for you, sir?
A conversation, Hawk.
Oh, a conversation. So you're not my bitter enemy. You don't hate me then, do you?
What you did was business.
Well,
I can respect business.
Well, I appreciate that. I just don't think your captain completely understands the merits and difficulties of running your own private spy agency. Sometimes you merely have to use what's in front of you and hope for the best.
I look. He's just saying he's operating a spy agency in the open.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Insight check to see how much he's had to drink.
Go for it.
Damn.
Natural 20 for 22.
Drunk as fuck, bitch. Drunk as fuck. He's normally quite, reserved, not nearly as... But he's... You get the feeling that the accomplishment of fleshing out those 3 drow is something he's been working very hard for. He's celebrating tonight. He's got heavy coin purses on him. He's clearly been betting and drinking all night. And he's got that kind of glaze in his eyes that tells you that he's kind of listening, but doesn't really give a fuck.
I shake my head. Sloppy. I turn to the bartenders. Do you offer coffee or something that's sobering?
The bartender goes, "Oh, I don't know what coffee is, sir. Do you have a sample of it? And what's this word, sober? I don't understand that word either, sir." And the bartender just kind of walks away from you.
I hate this place. It parades around as civilization, but people don't even know the fucking head to the ass. I grab the Hawk by the elbow and I try to find a as quiet as possible spot.
Oh my, you're being quite handling this evening.
Shut up.
I wasn't sure that.
Shut up.
Oh, very well.
You're being talked to right now.
The two of you make your way to the other side of the tavern-like area, brushing through some tables. There are at least 6 individuals watching you very cautiously. You watch as Maximilian's hand comes up slightly, and the 6 individuals kind of go back into the shadows of the wall. Jin, you seem so aggressive this evening. I mean, normally I would like it, but I'm in a different mood.
Your teeth still loose, or did you get a cleric to fix that for you?
Nope, it's still loose.
Damn.
It's important to have memories of things that make a difference.
Yeah, I don't know if I respect you if you had a missing front tooth, though.
Oh, it's still here. It's just very loose.
How
Are they
would
still
you-
mad? Are they still mad?
Oh, the only thing Omni would speak on is planning your demise, any future of it.
It's important to have a focus in life. I'm glad I can help.
suppose. But he's hyper focused. He's blinded by his own thirst for revenge, I suppose.
Oh, I don't doubt it in the least.
Don't know how I feel about following somebody's orders who's so tunnel visioned. And plus, I got
Explain.
demoted. So, apparently I've been demoted, but I'm not too upset about it. We'll see how I feel
Omni-
in daytime.
Captain Omni has tunnel vision then? Is that a debilitating disease? Is there something wrong with it?
Absolutely debilitating.
They seem normal to me, mostly. Other than they have an intense anger, that's for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, that kind of anger in the right position could be quite fun. But like I said, I'm not quite in that mood this evening.
Why are you deflecting?
Oh,
Sir
am I?
Marcus the Third.
Marcus. Oh, you hurt my feelings. It's Maximilian. You know this. Tharivol told you.
Maximilian E. Malcolm Marcus the Third.
Oh, you have a good memory, Jen. By the way, Jen, is this the good Jen? Because the other Jen seems a bit flaky. I prefer my gin dark.
I leaned in real close in the table.
He leans in towards you as well.
I'm getting tired of this persona. 6 men in the shadow isn't going to be enough to stop me if you continue to try to piss me off.
Oh, they're not in the shadow to stop you. I'm not worried about you, Jen. You have flavor. I don't intend to ever allow you to be bottled. They are merely following orders. That is all they're doing. You are free to do whatever you wish. You could probably try to kill me. Absolutely. I am quite drunk. I mean, I'm stuck in that place where I just bet a huge amount of money. Normally that makes me want to fuck quite boisterously. Unfortunately, the person that I was mostly interested is now, well, hell-bent on killing me. You come seeking a conversation of regret and concern. Jin, I'm in the business of making...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I give an impression that I was worried and concerned about Omni?
No, I think you're worried and concerned about the entirety of the situation that you and your friends have found themselves in.
Oh, I'm not in that situation. I can shed myself of that very quickly. I'm here to offer you a deal.
Oh, I like deals. Shall we go upstairs?
What are we going to do?
I know, I get flirty when I'm drunk. I apologize. He just kind of leans back in his chair, takes a pull from a small glass bottle and looks at
Do
you.
I see where the stairs are?
There's double sets of winding stairs that go up to a second and third floor where all the tavern rooms are kept. The 6 individuals are there. You can see where they are. They never pull their glance away from you, but they're not threatening in any way as far as you can tell.
I grab the hawk's hand, give him a little wink, and lead the way.
Oh, this evening did just get interesting. I do warn you, I am particularly energetic this evening. And he kind of puts his arm into the crook of your elbow, and the two of you are now walking up the flight of stairs. Gatharn.
Excuse me. Yes.
You're such a Gnork. I love my Gnorks. Give me a charisma save, please.
Three.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. You sit just straight up in your hammock down below. You can still hear the activity up above you. The sounds of the revels still going. You've maybe been asleep for a couple hours. As you sit upright, looking around, there's a figure sitting at the foot of your bed. Appears to be feminine in scope. She turns towards you, and it's your mother, staring at you. Why do you not come home, dear? It has been a long time since we've seen you. Don't you think it's time? The rumors have been quite rife with concern about what is going on. And you watch as the astral projection kind of sits and stands up off the edge of the bed. She kind of meanders over alongside you, her translucent hand kind of brushing through your face in an effort to try to kind of give you some physical contact. Why the charade, dear? You still play at these games. I've been scrying on you for days. You're back at that god-awful shithole of the Revels. What did we ever do to deserve this kind of treatment? I mean, there are so many more things that an intelligent and capable person such as yourself could be doing right now. And here you waste your talents, your efforts, on what, dear boy? What? Your father is quite mad. And I don't mean in a crazy way. He's upset. I thought I'd say that because I know how you get sometimes.
All right. Describe my mom for me, please.
Well, in her astral projection self, she looks just like what you'd expect her to look like. She's done this to you before. It definitely looks like her. This doesn't feel like a trick of the mind.
So they're unknown.
Sort of.
Just making sure, because, you know,
Sort of.
biological mom is a barbarian.
Barbarian,
Biological
no.
dad.
But you also know that...
No. Biological mom's
Go-
an orc barbarian.
Correct.
Biological dad is a gnome warlock. Genders got flip-flopped.
Yep.
So daddy's now mommy, mommy's now daddy. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yes.
Okay.
But you also know that she never projects herself as she truly is. She's a master tactician at magic. And whatever fey agreements that have been made in the past, well, she always controls her visual representation because she never knows who's watching. Astral projection is a very powerful spell, but it also tears through the fabric of the arcane and can expose you. This is just one of her many tricks she uses to try to communicate with you. You can feel her kind of intensity as she stares at you, her arms crossed. She's taken the form of a sun elf this time. Long blonde hair, just very elf-like feminine features. She stares down at you. Now, are you coming home or not?
Yes. Winter festival,
When?
like I always do.
Yes, I know, dear, but you're at the Revels, dear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you-
it's fun.
I know it's fun, but couldn't you, like, go to Nicodranus or Port Damali or Port Zune and have fun there? The rumors that me and your father have been hearing about the Revels this year are, well, unnerving, to say the least.
Oh, seems like a normal type of revels to me.
You're the smartest dumb person I've ever met, dear. And you can't lie with shit.
Yes. And?
What have you gotten yourself into?
Something awesome.
Explain yourself, please.
No.
Oh, then it must be truly awesome for you to piss me off with that. She kind of whisks away from you, stands at the foot of your bed, and goes, well, I hope you don't get yourself killed, you fucking asshole. And you just watch as her visage disappears. You hear Clark's voice from above. Everything okay down there, sir? I heard voices.
Yeah, just my parents checking in on me.
I didn't see anyone go down below deck, sir. What do you mean? Are they go?
Never mind, sir. Don't answer that. And he just quickly walks back up on deck. So, Omni and Medi, what are you two doing with your time at this point? I know you're conspiring. You've dealt with Clark, or not Clark, but with Gronk. Gronk appears to be quite enthusiastic about the prospect of his little trip. Omni or Medi, you're in the process of writing out instructional tips on how to slit throats, I believe.
Yep. And because that's not happening, like, now, might as well go do some exploring, see about these fights, see if, I don't know, if there's still a lich on the island.
So you're going to make your way into the Revels as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Omni, what are they doing this evening? Still a little bit of time.
Yeah, Omni is going to go up to Stitches and give them basically a shopping list for fabric for sails, as well as a few different colors of paint to whether it's in transit or when we get to a next spot.
Stitch is sitting cross-legged on a barrel, like sipping from his grog cup, and it looks weird to see a bugbear with a pinky out, sipping out of a tin cup.
Classy.
And under one arm, he has like this massive bundle of sail that he's kind of working on and stitching.
Oh, hello, sir. I didn't see you there. Shopping. You want me to go shopping for you, sir?
Yes.
Now or tomorrow? Most of the stores are probably closed, I think, sir.
Tomorrow.
tonight.
Tomorrow will be fine, yeah.
Ah, good.
So we are going to need dyes to color our current sails, which are white, and then we'll also want to pick up more of a dark blue, closer to black fabric as well, so that we can have stealth sails for nighttime.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that, sir. That's pretty clever.
And
I
then
guess
some
that's why you're the
deep
captain.
blue and dark green paints. That way we can make the actual wood of the ship, the deck, and everything else more like the sea.
So, sir, I've been wanting to ask you about the name of our ship, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of the other crew have been kind of making fun of it. Is it possible that we could name it something a little bit more appropriate, sir? I just, wet vagina just doesn't do it for the rest of us, to be honest with you. It just, you pull into port, and the first thing you hear in the tavern is, "Oh, the wet vagina's in port." So, it just, as clever as we all think Catharin is, the Whispering Eye, it's going to look funny in the logs. So, if we end up going into port, you got to hand over that log that's got it's got the name of the ship all over the, I just, sorry, sir. I probably say, I been drinking and I talk too much. I apologize if that's a problem. You look.
Are you skilled with the brush? Can you paint? Are you much of a writer?
I can paint. Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you feel about the name the Storm's Eye?
I think it sounds very aggressive, sir. I like it.
Okay.
It's the opposite of aggression. The Storm's Eye is where you want to be.
It's where it's calm, yeah.
Yes, sir. It's calm, and that was weird. I thought I heard Jed. Yes, sir. It's calm in the center of a storm, but just think about everything you gotta get through to get to that center of the storm. You know what I mean? You got to push your way through all that intensity, sir. So, Yeah.
So
it's
perseverance.
Yeah, I don't know what that word means, but sure, that sounds like a cool word, sir.
Okay. Pick up some paint that we can use for the name as well.
Yeah, I can do that.
How much do you think that'll be, Jason, for an additional set of sails, paint for the whole boat?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. Ooh, 17, 21.
With the information you have been freshly learning, if it's true people are leaving early, that means supplies will be in short demand. You're normally maybe a couple hundred gold, but now maybe more close to 300 gold to get all the supplies. They're probably in short supply now.
Cool. We'll do that, and also give him a bit of a food shopping list. Like basic bare necessities are not going to be what happens on this ship. We're going to have nice stuff.
Okay.
So anything that they can find that's of higher quality, and getting a lot of it is, I mean, obviously as much as they can.
Sounds good. Takes the gold and takes the list. It goes,
Kind of embarrassed, sir. I don't read too well. Can I take one of the sisters with me?
Yes, absolutely. And still trying to work out their names. Whichever one seems like they're the best
Amanda.
at it
I think Amanda would be the good one to bring.
for
She's a little bit
negotiating.
more.
well, so they've got
She's
their
more
own...
flirty, right? She has a more outgoing kind of personality.
Her personality is quite interesting, sir. Yes,
She
would
winks
agree
a
with
lot
that.
more than Brenda, I think.
Sure, I will go with that, sir.
Perfect. Okay, so you said 300 gold. Oh, is that for food as well, or?
Yeah, that would be everything I think
Okay.
I would need, sir. Yes.
Okay. And then how close are we to? This is above game, just as far as days to completion of fixing up the ship, because Cesare is remembering that Jin paid 2,500 gold for the first half, and that I
Correct.
said that I was going to cover the second half. So
As far as Brackish and what's her name?
Nala.
Nala. As far as Brackish and Nala are concerned, that they'll have this thing ready to go and be shipshape by the end of the Revels.
Cool.
They were trying for sooner rather than later, but there's been some distractions, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, let me mark that off as checked for paint and fabric for sails. Done. Yeah. Omni would probably want to actually spend at least an hour that night checking before with sea invisibility, and then also just like studying all of the things. So we had the compass, the anti-magic gem that was in the ceiling of the blacksmith that we retrieved. We wanted to study that and see what was up with it.
Okay.
And then I wanted to go to Gromit and give them 15 platinum pieces and commission them to make platinum rings for all of the crew members, with a few additional ones. And on the ring, I want them to put either a stamp or an engraving of an eyeball, but the pupil of it, instead of being like a vertical cat eye, is actually a lightning bolt.
Gotcha. So you could spend the evening doing everything but that. Give me a sleight of hand check for a drawing of the way you want the rings to look.
Okay.
Gromit's is currently closed, so that's something you could probably accomplish tomorrow.
Oh, no, sorry. Gromit is the name of the gnome that's on board.
Oh, gotcha.
The artificer of the transparent hand.
That's right. Eventually, you track down the gnome. Yes, sir. He reaches out for the drawing.
It's a 19.
Takes. All right, this shouldn't be a problem, sir. I should be able to handle this quite nicely.
Awesome. Cool. Rings for that. Hire a cleric. I don't know if that's possible. We'll go into the Revels to do that. Hopefully, we'll see. But was gonna go and talk to Raylene, and clear up a few things. But somebody else should do something.
All right, so you're spending your evening in study and using your ability to kind of look about. I mean, you're understandably concerned about just what you've been through with the sisters. You're definitely a little bit on the anxious side these days.
Yeah. Identify the anti-magic stone. Does it do anything?
Give me a Arcana check.
It's a plus nothing. Come on, dice. 16?
It's currently inert. It looks to be crafted for the purpose of containing some form of enchantment. But for now, it's either been expended or purposely dispelled.
Okay. So it's
Medi.
a stone that's just a gem that's worth maybe
Correct.
something?
Well, considering it could be re-enchanted, chances are it's worth quite a bit of money.
Oh, God. So it's not just a stone. Can any gem be
Right.
enchanted? Like, or it needs to be something like important,
Like
kind
a
of
masterwork.
like residuum? Okay. Okay, cool, cool.
It's got to be a master-crafted device capable of holding an enchantment.
Perfect.
Medi, as you make your way into the Revels,
That's the first time I saw that little animation. I missed it every other time because I was looking at stuff. That's cool. I like it. What's up?
as you make your way into the Revels,
Make a wait.
it is a particularly party-like scene for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a particular area you want to try to meander around in, or what are your thoughts on where you'd like to go?
How much good juice do I have left, by the way? I know we figured out the recipe for it.
I mean, Raylene's clearly, with your help, you've gotten really close to cracking the recipe. Clearly, she has a source to go back to. She could go back to Thorvald and get more if you decide to go to talk to her about it. You have at least another week of it left. It doesn't require... It's one of those kind of like concoctions where you just sip at it.
Gotcha. Want to make sure that thought just crossed into my mind, and I was like, wait a second, crowd. Cool. So I will.
Well, and let's keep in mind, you drank very well
Oh, yes, I did.
recently.
Yes,
So you still have that kind of residual high and that effervescence in your step, that energy is still pulsing through your body. There
He's
are
Venom Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
Just like
I mean, there's
finger guns at people down the street.
and one of the things that you've always found challenging after a fresh kill, there's always that kind of lingering taste, as well as the fresh memory and reminders of the process of that taste. All that combined just creates this amazing kind of, well, for all better intents and purposes, I mean, it's better than sex as far as you're concerned.
Debatable. Scope out the fights, actually.
Okay. As you make your way through the Guildmaster's headquarters and down the Galley's Way, you actually find your way making the outer wards your focus, as there are a series of outdoor, kind of like, what do they call those? Outdoor, not an outdoor stadium, but those, like the scaffolding for seats. And you can see ropes are going around these like wooden platforms. And there's maybe 4 or 5 of them that are being currently constructed. There's like a very heavy set human wearing Thorvald kind of colors. He's got a heavy leather apron on, a slouched hat off to one side. He's barking orders. at the current crew that are in the process of building these pits, readying them for tomorrow. Now look, we don't have all fucking day. If you can't get it done, I'll go grab a different crew. And he's just kind of barking and pointing at people to do things. There's crowds milling around. Coin purses are changing hands. Bets. Fresh boards are going up with all the matches. Your passive would be high enough. Morecambe versus Gatharin is one of the heavier odd matches that you can see up on the board.
Makes sense.
What were the odds? 192?
108 to 1, yeah.
192 to 1. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 platinum.
I know.
Let's go,
know.
Gatharin.
God, that's a lot of money to put on.
That's a lot of money.
I think we should hedge our bets, and one of us should put at least a little bit on the other guy, just to like. Not that I don't believe in Gatharin, but like, yeah.
And from where you're now sitting out of the crowd, or from where you're standing, kind of taking all this in, off to the right, you could see like almost like a preparation area. And there's gnomes and orcs and humans and elves. They're either wrapping fists and kind of like punching bags and like that general calisthenic energy of people that are just, too wrapped up in the sense of the fights to be able to sleep. And they're just kind of out there doing the bag and practicing and sparring with each other. And then they all kind of stop to look past you. And then as you look over your shoulder, the tallest and biggest minotaur you've ever seen comes, walking out of the Galleys Way road and down into the outer
Kill him.
wards where
I win.
he's about roughly
That's
a little
not
over
how
10
the fight
feet.
pits work.
It's how it works. Don't worry. We're
He's
Jason.
roughly over 10 feet tall, huge
Yeah,
minotaur,
you're slower than me. Got it.
stripped down just to breechcloths, and kind of makes his way into the preparation area. See that one horn has been purposely shaved down to a stump. The other horn is still kind of elongated and normal from the standpoint of a minotaur. His big bovine, like,
as he passes by.
give me a perception check.
Physical-
Actually, I would say you're going to focus in on him, so give me investigation as you just linger. But do you want to do it as if he would notice you, or do you want to be deceptive as you examine him?
I don't care if he notices me.
Okay, what'd you get?
Investigation 21.
He is rip-corded muscle from top to bottom. And every time he lifts the 1,000-pound sandbags that are set up for the calisthenics, the vessels in his arms don't even bulge. It's almost as if he's just doing this as you watch him. And eventually you hear him, "Well, are you going to come over, or are you just going to stand there and keep staring at me?"
I was just curious.
Yeah. Well. And he kind of looks down over at you. There's something weird about you.
That's what everybody says. How flattering.
What? No, wait.
away.
Just wait. Hold on a second, miss. Before you, I was, and you kind of, he's like looking through the crowd at you, and you could barely. I was just gonna tell her there was a finger in her hair. Strange. And he goes back to lifting sandbags.
Showered. Thank
Well,
you.
Yeah, you didn't roll a natural. The DC on your shower was 32, so I don't know what to tell
Also,
you.
Jin, didn't gross off me. All right, I don't
That's
have
true.
fingers on my person other than the ones on my hand, Jason.
Yeah, he just goes back to lifting, watches you walk away, shrugs his shoulders.
I am also gonna take a little sneaky peeky back towards the direction that I chased that girl down towards. Just why not?
Ah, you want to make your way down to the den of thieves at this point?
Yeah.
Okay. Walking the opposite way of the outer wards, kind of making your way through all the different people milling about. You make your way into the den of thieves. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, because you're taking your time. You're being methodical about looking around and wondering what's going on.
15.
15. I mean, you're kind of lingering in the space where you kind of last remember seeing her, and you're looking around, and I mean, it's easy to get lost in here. The buildings here are a lot more congested, a lot more temporary. The alleyway spaces are very tight. God only knows how many of those secret passageways there could be. I mean, you followed that creature down below into the ancient turtle shell. I mean, this thing could be a honeycomb of possible routes that people could take. It would take you hours and hours, if not days, to try to figure out where she might have gone. But you can try.
Well, I mean, I tracked her down that one time, but to be able to repeat that path, this is more an exercise in, seeing if there's anything obvious and just to like wander around and clear my head a little bit.
Right. The one thing that strikes you as obvious, this is a perfect place to get lost. Which you kind of file under, I should remember, this is a good place to get lost. You can see people skulking about, leaning up against alleyways. There's at least 2 or 3 rather shadowy looking characters that just kind of are not being very clever about their staring at you.
I put on my base level resting bitch face as I walk by them.
Yeah, they kind of quickly turn away from you as if they realize that they've been kind of noticed that they're following you, and this place feels odd to you. This place, out of everywhere in the Revels, this is the location that always feels just so, like, even people that don't belong here seem to end up here because they simply just don't belong in the Revels. They just either see it as opportunity or they see it as a perfect chance to make a little side coin, whether they've stowed away on ships or figured out little secretive ways to get here. This is where more of the nefarious people pretty much reside, as far as you can tell.
Stowaways, I try not to think about juice box.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Just wander for a little while.
Okay. Jin, as you and Maximilian make it up to the second floor, he pulls out a very heavy key out of his pocket, unlocks the door, opens it, and goes, "Oh, after you, dear sir." And he waits for you to walk in first.
I walk in first.
He follows you. 2 of you are now standing there. He pours 2 glasses of a very kind of like intoxicating smelling liquid and hands one of the glasses to you, and he picks up the other glass and begins to sip from it. He goes,
Just before he begins to sip from it, I grab his and I drink both.
Oh my. You are changing my mind quite a bit, Jen. And he takes both glasses from you, refills them.
Is Jin capable of getting drunk?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't think so. And he then hands one to you, and he starts sipping the other one. So, now that we're in my, well, it's not quite my private quarters, but it'll do. What shall we discuss?
I would like more information on the Leviathan. Whatever you can gather. Current information. And I think in a fair trade, I'll keep an eye on the Whispering Eye for you.
Oh, well, dear boy, I wouldn't worry much about the Whispering Eye. I can certainly take care of that myself.
You could,
However,
but I'm already on the inside.
Yes, but why the Leviathan? Why does this interest you so? I couldn't help but notice I don't know if you're capable of excitement, but you certainly appeared to be excited when it was mentioned in Thorvald's office.
It reminds me of home.
Oh, it reminds you of home, does it? Well, to be fair, I mean, for the most part, the Leviathan's more of a spooky ghost tale of legend and superstition. Some seafarers believe in it, others don't. Thorvald happens to believe there might be some truth in it, but that's because he knows of a particular sailor that walked away from a situation with a bit of information regarding the Leviathan and shared it with him personally. Personally, I think the poor lad was just terrified and wanted to get out of there as soon as they possibly could, but I mean, help me understand. What would you like to know? I mean, I'm sure even you have heard about the superstitiousness of the ghost ship that floats and looks for easy prey and raids villages and steals babies and finds untoward lovers. And he's kind of like spinning around the room and acting quite drunk. You know, of course, you do realize that that's the crux of the story, do you not, Jen? That supposedly this admiral, this captain, this great nefarious creature that sails the Leviathan was somehow betrayed by his great love. And he took that anger and he took that animosity with him out to sea. And he raided uncontested amongst the islands and coastal regions of Tal'Dorei. Became quite the legend around Marquette until he was found and he was hung for his crimes. Well, maybe that's the rumor. And now his ship sails the open waters looking for lovers and gold. Sinking ships and sinking hearts, as they say.
Do we have a deal or not? Any current information as it crosses your path. In return, I spy on the Whispering Eye.
Give me a persuasion check. With advantage, because he is quite inebriated and you are not.
24.
Yeah, I rolled even with disadvantage, I rolled a 22 for insight. He kind of just stares at you for a moment. Well, I have a bit of my current information with you already. Do you not? The book, the journal that I gave you back in Thorwald's?
Yes.
I know you've probably already spent a little bit of time researching that, but I can certainly accommodate your request. The only thing I ask is that, well, if you find or see any strange behavior amongst Omni, or if you suspect him or them of unusual behavior, you'll let me know.
And how would I let you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that little... Did I give you one of those fobs? Did I give one to you? I don't remember.
You did not.
He reaches in to a messenger bag that's kind of strapped over a chair, pulls out a small leather fob with a metallic emblem on it of a mouth whispering into an ear.
Yeah,
and
he
he
gave
hands
them
it to you.
to everybody. As
Did he?
like a
I think-
as proof that we can wear our weapons
No,
and be
he gave it
among the
to
rebels.
Gatharn.
He
I
gave
thought
it
he
to
handed them out to everyone.
No, I think he gave one to you, Omni, as recompense, and he gave one to Gatharn, I believe.
Yeah.
So this is the first time you're receiving one, Jen.
Mhm.
And he hands it to you, and he goes, well, as long as you have this fob on you, I will be able to, how they say, communicate with you, Jen.
Then my business here is done. And I start walking out the
Oh,
door.
what a shame. Henry!
I look back
Henry?
at the hawk.
Yeah.
You're not my type.
And you watch as a young woman and a young man come out of side bed chambers and close the door, and just disappointment on the hawk's
Oh, he
face
does
as you
have
leave.
backup hose.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. But
Just one last thing.
what a
I'll
life
go-
they be living, though, you know? The way that they're just the backup after the backup. Ooh.
I'll just make a quick trip to the market. I'll pick up just enough for one meal. Pasta, lemon, cheese, and a fine cut of fish.
Give me investigation as you make your way over to the Marquis district.
Yes. I think I have a +3. I do 19.
Okay. There are quite a few food stalls still open. You managed to find everything you need. Costs you about 2 gold to acquire it.
Perfect.
Quite expensive, actually, as you begin to realize supplies have been short.
Dwindling. Yeah,
Yeah, they're dwindling quite rapidly.
that's fine. And I'll head back to the Whispering Eye.
Okay. Medi, your meandering, your walking around is proving to be interesting, but nothing particular comes across your path. Anything else you'd like to try to accomplish within the evening?
Oh, I guess actually I should talk to Raylene if I can.
Okay. She could potentially be on her ship. She could potentially be at the Guildmaster's headquarters where she was when you guys had your conversation. Give me an insight check.
Uh, 15.
15. She's probably at Thorvald's office. It's only been a few, maybe 2-3 hours since that encounter with Thorvald and learning all the information and recovering both Jin and Gatharin from their near-death experience down at the wharf.
Oh, then I go there.
Okay. Making your way through the Revels, you make your way towards the garden area of the Guildmasters, and sure enough, there she is, sitting by herself in deep thought, just kind of staring at her hands, sitting on a garden kind of like bench, and her small feet and her boots and her kind of garish, her attire is always bright and colorful. Her hat rests next to her. She's holding a familiar glass bottle. She takes a slight sip from it, looks up. Oh, I'm sorry. Medi, how are you? It's good to see you.
I was going to ask you the same thing. What are you looking at?
Oh, I don't know. Just lost in thought, I guess. Her big, sharp teeth kind of brim across her lips, and she reaches down for a hat, puts it on. Well, it's been an interesting evening, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. Are you heading out right now?
Oh, maybe. She seems very awkward. She's having a hard time talking to you.
Would you like some company?
She just kind of breathes. Her whole form just kind of sinks in on itself. I think I would, yes. Please, if you wouldn't mind walking with me, that would be great.
For
Can
safety,
we head our...
obviously.
Well, yes. Can we head back towards the wharf, if you don't mind?
Mm-hmm.
Good. She kind of is looking at her feet as the two of you kind of just begin to walk through the Revels. Her eyes moving to side and watching the crowd with both disdain and concern at the same time. I don't know if I agree with what Thorvald is attempting to do.
I'm pretty sure you're not the only one.
Well, what do you... Medi, I don't want to delve into your personal and private thoughts, but...
Very few do.
Well, I feel like we do share a bit of an understanding. And
Something about birds with a feather, but for us it's teeth in a mouth or something? I don't know.
or bats of the same wing. I don't really understand it
I
much
can't
myself,
do that.
but
Can you do that?
no, but my master can.
Vamps of a
certainly-
fang.
Vamps of a fang. Omni just somewhere out of absolutely
Yeah.
nowhere. I just hear Omni.
Metabat.
No, Medibat.
Medibat.
When she evolves into her final form.
Yes, my final form is Dracula.
I know we don't age like other people do. We do mature, though. You understand this,
Some of us.
correct? Or I don't. Well, I don't mean. You're so much fun, Medi. You're so much fun.
That's the first.
Even though
even though we're technically immortal, we still kind of age. We just age very slowly.
Am I going to look like an old lady for a really long time?
Yes, yes, it's. Well, here's the thing. It could be affected by your lineage as much as the source that turned you and how you evolve into what you are. My normal self doesn't live very long, if you understand my meaning. Goblins have short lifespans.
Right, yeah.
I think it has something to do with our level of curiosity and our, well, interest in getting into situations we shouldn't get ourselves into.
I can relate to that.
I've taken some time to write some notes and information. She hands you a small journal. In case we find ourselves traveling down separate paths. The Scions
Strong feeling that we might. I'll be honest with you.
I think so too. She kind of looks away from you, looks down at the ground. I need to figure out this formula because, well, I'm not going to be working for Thorvald anymore. I don't believe in what he's doing, so I am going to go my own way. I'm going to go back to smuggling, dealing with harbors, and, well, selling goods and doing what I do best, gathering information and making my way in the world. Intrigue in politics and watching how it played out between you and your friends, it's not for me anymore. Can never lose my taste of blood, but lying tastes equally as bad to me.
Doesn't it just? Can I ask you,
Oh, certainly.
how many of your normal lifespans have you made it through then?
Well, my master, I believe, turned me some 252 years ago. I have made it through maybe 50 of my normal lifespans. Not really sure what I want to become
When
in
you
the
grow up?
future. Yes. Well, my first mate, I turned her some 35 years ago. There comes a time when being lonely is difficult to deal with. She kind of bumps into a couple people in the crowd and they kind of just stagger away drunk. She looks back.
I hiss at them.
She just kind of smirks, and the two give me intimidation with advantage, as they are very drunk.
Are they, or are they actually pickpocketing Raylene?
That's what I'm wondering. Thank you for the advantage, because the first one was a natural 1, so 23.
23. As you hiss in their direction, they immediately drop something on the ground and begin panic running into the streets. You watch as Raylene looks down and picks up the coin purse.
Don't think I don't know where to find you.
Huh. The successful ones always taste best. Perhaps I'll have a snack before I go to bed tonight.
Something other than Gatharin.
Oh, that one's not about blood, dear. That's just good old-fashioned, sweaty goblin sex. I mean, I know Gatharin doesn't like to be called a goblin, but let's be honest, he looks like a fucking goblin.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Oh, I know he's orc and gnome, and I tease him. I don't know if I'd openly tease him, to the point where he gets mad and rages at me.
You're probably one of the people that get away with it.
I know. I really don't think so. Especially post-coitus. I have a funny feeling he's as much as I am to me as he is to himself. Gatharin is a ship with no rudder, in my opinion. And those are very dangerous people.
Fair enough.
When I look at you, I see someone with purpose. And I hope that book I gave you will help you. Careful how deep down that rabbit hole you get. Try not to do it alone.
Right.
And
How did I handle it before Thorvald? and having access?
Carefully. I'm in the business of smuggling, stealing, and gathering information for a reason. I've done bad things. I know this. Street urchins are never missed. They just aren't. It's the way of the world. It's a dark world. It's not exactly perfect. But there are plenty of slums, plenty of dangerous places to go into. People who merely exist on the edge of poverty, on the edge of the streets, on the edge of places where simply people do not give a fuck about them. Those are almost always the safest meals you could take. Maybe not the tastiest, but certainly the safest.
Yeah. Makes sense.
How are you doing, Medi?
Overwhelmed. I think most people are right now. There's a lot going on. A lot going on real fast.
Is it?
I mean, it's only been 3-4 days.
Well, we were at sea for a couple days. We've been here almost 4 days. You guys were
Right.
adrift after the hurricane for quite a few days. I wasn't sure what to make of you when I saw you all on that piece of abandoned debris in the middle of the ocean, but luckily for you, I was already in the employ of Tharivol. Had I not been, I might have mistakenly thought you were all a meal.
We showed up looking that tasty then.
Omni and Gathan, yes. I have my doubts about the validity of gin and the
Just as a person or as a meal?
both.
Fair enough.
He strikes me as quite odd. Although daytime gin is very interesting, very different than nighttime gin. I've heard of people like him. I think I had a Marquisian sailor once serving on my vessel that told stories of people like gin.
Omni and Gatharn being tasty. Omni I'll agree with. Gatharn not really my type.
A little rugged around the edges.
Little.
Oh, you do have an appetite, don't you? I do forget as she kind of looks up at you as the two of you are like walking.
Yep.
She's like, oh yeah, you're quite large. You probably require a lot more sustenance than I do. No, I cannot turn into a bat yet. My master can. He is still alive in Nicodranus. He has told me that as we age, at some point, we do
You're on
gain that
good terms.
ability. Oh yes, great terms. Well, the Scions. Well, the Scions are a council that maintain, well, a kind of balance in the city. Not all of them are bad.
Why didn't you open with this? I didn't know being on good terms was physically possible.
Well, it depends on how you're made, dear. I suspect yours was quite violent and terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, not all of them do it that way, dear. I mean, are you under the impression that to be an immortal being that drinks humanoid blood and could possibly turn and make somebody else into one of us, they are all inherently evil? Is that your thought?
Yeah, a little bit. I was gonna have to maybe do something about you. Oh, first mate. Oh.
She kind of grabs your forearm with like a gentle, kind of motherly steadying of your. She kind of like slows you down a bit and goes, "Medi, you're the last person I expected to be so contrite in your understanding of the world."
Restful. Yeah, no, past several years of my life have kind of been dedicated to getting rid of people that make people like us. Just wholesale.
Oh dear. Well, I've made one. Does that mean you're going to get rid of me?
The thought crossed my mind, and then you said, yeah. Okay.
Well, does Amanth seem particularly upset, or disturbed, or angry about serving with me?
No, but it's not like you couldn't convince him otherwise.
I mean,
It's been
She
35
asked-
years. You said it might, have
well, but
worn
she
out.
asked me. She was on death's door, very ill with a disease that could not be cured, and she asked me, and she was a true friend, a good friend. Didn't seem to bother her at the time that she finally knew what I was.
It's a lot of.
I did warn her. I did warn her. You are right. Being what we are is a dangerous game to play.
But the fact that anybody would ask for it is.
Not everybody is eager to cling on to a deathly embrace, dear. To be living beings in this world can be intoxicating to some. The idea of living forever, for those that have not yet experienced 1,000 years of loneliness, could be quite interesting to them. I, on the other hand, made her what she is because she was a friend, and I was tired of being alone.
That all tracks, but it's still just a lot of information. Interesting.
Well, we seem to have made it to the wharf. This is my stop. Medi, in case we don't see each other again, it has been an absolute pleasure. Oh, also in that book I gave you the final recipe. For some reason, Thorvald's shared it with me.
Oh, okay.
There is a particularly unusual ingredient in there that I have not yet been able to find. It's called a bloodroot. If you see it, or come across it, buy as much as you can.
All right. Keep an eye out.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I hope you and your friends find your way. Mine is somewhere else. I don't know what Thorvald has in store for this world, but I won't be a part of it. I wish you luck on your journey, finding what you are seeking. But me and mine are leaving tonight.
Oh. Okay.
Say goodbye to the others for me, if you would. Give Gathan a gentle pat on the ass and say that's from Raylene. I know he's not your type, but he'll understand when you do it.
All right.
But do be gentle. I don't think he's aware of the tattoo that I put there yet. And she just quickly runs up the gangway and waves at you and makes her way onto the main deck. The sails are being unfurled. You can hear her voice. Down with... Why are we not... And you just hear her just going at the crew at this point as they're beginning to make the ship ready for a nighttime exit.
Just head back. Wow.
On your way back, surprisingly, you run into Jin along the wharf pier as he is heading his way back as well. And the two of you meet, nearly not quite bumping into each other, but the timing seems perfect.
Evening.
So how did it go? I have no idea where you went. I'm just curious.
Can you eat things that are not living?
Can
Follow me.
I do so?
I go into the kitchen on the Whispering Eye.
Omni, from your position studying and managing things in the captain's quarter, you can hear Medi and Jin doing something in the lower deck kitchen at this point. They're talking, and it sounds like Jin is cooking.
Did anything? I was studying the compass. Has it revealed anything as far as what it does?
Not
So just
particularly,
a disembodied voice and thunder clouds and laughter. That's just it so far. Cool.
So far,
Typical cursed item bullshit. The only other thing that I was going to look over and spend time on here was the necklace that Thorvald gave that said if I used it, it would help me find the sisters.
Yeah,
and
you
then
spend
just
the
other
evening.
things.
You actually spend the evening attuning to it. He said it would aid you. It wasn't
Okay.
specifically designed for that, but he has given you a necklace of scry.
Gotcha. Okay, wonderful.
Requires attunement.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get rid of one of my things because the compass is one, the ring of advantage and the ring of fly. So I'll have to figure that out. Does in studying the whispering ear brooch thing, would I?
It's a fob. It's just a little leather fob with the metal token on it of the mouth whispering to a metal ear.
Would I know that it's enchanted? Or is this one just for me to carry the weapons around?
Do you have any spells or abilities to detect enchantments?
I think I have detect magic. Yeah, I have detect magic.
It's definitely enchanted. You would have expended that spell slot to be able to determine that.
And so with it, you could tell what kind of spell or what kind of magic it is, right?
It's enchantment.
Oh, it's just that's the type. Cool.
Yep.
While I have that up, it's good for 10 minutes. We'll just walk around the ship and see what other types of things I see, if there are any types of wards or spells that have been cast on the ship or anybody else's belongings.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. $15.
None that you can see. I mean, you spend a good hour or two before heading back down into your quarters to kind of, finish off your evening. Everything appears to be okay, as far as you can tell. It's just the steady sound of a crew busy on deck. Things happening around you. You can hear Jin and Medi cooking in the kitchen.
And is Gatharn still asleep, or did he go to sleep, or he woken up?
Well, I mean, the only person that would have known that was Clark. I mean, at this point, every time you've looked down the center of the communal deck, where all the hanging hammocks are for the crew, and then the handful of beds that can be used, not very many, more like cots than anything else, which they tend to use when you're at harbor or at wharf, because you don't have to worry about the ship moving quite as much. Just a very tiny little Gatharn blissfully sleeping away.
I was going to talk to Raylene, but if she's leaving, probably wouldn't get there in time. I'll ask Gatharn. I'll go and wake him up and just ask him, Gatharn. Tap, 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 tap. Are you asleep?
Yes.
Cool.
This is a dream.
Awesome.
No,
So,
it's more of a nightmare.
in your lucid dream, do you recall what was in your backpack that you lost when the ship exploded? We'd like to replace it, because you were trying to save us after all.
There's just some potions of healing. Couldn't this wait till morning? I gotta fight.
Trying to get as much done in as much time as possible.
There's potions. I got plenty. I already cleared her out of the stock.
Okay. Just wanted you to feel more part of the game, Brandon. Jesus. You've been really quiet this episode. I just was trying to involve you.
He's been playing for 15 years. He knows what's going on. He ain't no fool.
Okay, well then I'll go and I guess just check in with Medi and Jin and mention I'm thinking about taking a walk to Raylene's real quick.
About that.
Hmm?
She might or might not have already taken off.
Thorvald send her on a mission?
No.
So she just is leaving. She left. Has left.
She was heading that way when I left her. She may or may not have actually made it out yet.
I guess it doesn't matter that much then. Alright, well, what are you guys up to? What are you doing?
Well, Jin was trying to show me how to make the stew, but he's not doing a great job of it.
It's not a stew.
That looks like fettuccine alfredo with salmon and lemon. How did you get those ingredients?
It's actually a
Gin.
lemon cream pasta with salmon.
You made this?
Yeah, and as he's saying you made this, I just get that last nice squeeze over the pasta, and I hand it over to Medi in the cast iron pan with the fork in it.
Give me a performance check, Jen, with advantage because you are using good ingredients.
26.
It's about the best dish you've ever made, and that's quite a bit for you because you don't even need food.
I have the towel over the shoulder, and I start wiping my hands off. The sleeves are rolled up.
Does AM Jin? Does he know how to do this as well?
I don't know who you're talking about.
You watch as Clark's face pokes through. Is somebody cooking? I didn't realize that we had a cook yet. It smells really, really good. Is there enough for the crew?
No.
Jin, you're kind of looking. You can see there's a small queue of people outside, kind of doing this, because as the drunken hunger begins to set in. Are you sure that looks like a big fry pan of?
It's not.
Could I?
No.
No. Oh. All right, okay, I'll let her. Sorry, guys. No, there's no food. That's not food we're smelling.
No.
I don't know what it is.
The captain just farted.
Clark's like, ugh, dips his head out. You can hear the crew kind of like disappointed, making their way back up on deck.
I will start cutting up the potatoes and start making a basic stew.
Jin, you might have to teach.
Pull out the big giant.
Whoever ends up
cooked
becoming
pot,
the cook.
Put it on there.
That recipe, it smells really good.
I don't do it for
Late
work,
evening
I do it
is
for
late evening is beginning to take over. Food is being cooked, and this is just kind of like most of you. Oddly enough, for the three of you, sleep is not something that you have to have. You can't help but notice that Jin is quite happy with being awake. The three of you are in the kitchen, kind of just awkwardly talking and spending the last of the evening together.
As the stew's finishing up, I give a little whistle. Food's ready, you degenerates.
Oh, good. There's Gromit. He grabs the big pot, starts waddling out onto the center deck and makes his way. Hey, guys, there's food. And you can hear just hands going into the pot and scooping it out with fingers and just eating it and drinking, and they're happy. They're definitely happy.
There's bowls that I set right next to them.
They're still stacked there. Spoons right next to them.
I'll go and grab a bowl, grab a spoon, and
I
a
slap his
ladle.
hand. It's not for you.
Take up the ladle and I scoop some.
Smack that shit out of his hand.
Do you go to hit it?
Yeah.
I will go to parry and bop you on the head with the ladle.
Both of you give me dex checks. Just good old-fashioned dex checks.
It's a dex off.
Dex off.
See who could be the faster of the two assholes.
18.
That sounds like an initiative check, though. You know? Should we just roll an initiative check?
Why? Because you have like plus 14 to initiative?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. 15.
Yeah. I mean, you go to smack his hand. You watch as they retract their hand and then they bop you right on the forehead and begin to ladle food into the bowl.
Look, I know it's just a basic stew, but it smells good. All right. I know you're mad about the demotion in your eyes, but you're just gonna have to fortify up. We have a lot of shit that I'm just like extra scoops, like not even paying attention to how many scoops. We all have to do shit that we don't necessarily want to do right now.
As the captain's scooping it in, Jin just has like a sinister smile on his face. Go ahead, eat then.
Going to.
Go ahead.
It smells delicious.
Enjoy it.
We will. Thank you.
I'm pleased.
So are we. Are we just complimenting each other now aggressively? What's going on?
Is this what flirting looks like?
No.
No, Medi, flirting is when Clark barged in and what you were doing.
What?
I don't know. Oh, there's your food. You guys enjoy. I go scoop out a bowl and I get a spoon. I go down below decks and I lay it next to
You are below
Gatharn.
deck.
Oh, then I go even further or out wherever Gatharn is asleep and
Okay.
just get a little bit of the soupy bits and as he's snoring just
You're gonna drown him?
yeah.
Support.
What's your passive perception again, Gatharn?
You're gonna wake up full.
Passive
full
perception
tummy.
14.
14.
Damn, that's pretty good.
Give me sleight of hand, Jin.
Oh, I'm not trying to be slick with it. I'm just trying to feed him.
I understand, but give me sleight of hand. I didn't say stealth. I said sleight of hand. It's a different
26.
26. Yeah. Every time he like rolls or moves and his mouth is slightly open, you dribble a little bit of soup in it, and completely unconsciously he swallows it.
And any chunks of
pretty much-
potato, I'll put it in my mouth and I'll masticate. I'll chew it. And then
Jeez.
Are you baby bird feeding a sleeping Gatharn before fight night? That is perfect. I'll say,
Amazing.
since you don't necessarily sleep, you do that until the food's gone, and you watch as Gatharn rolls
Very
over onto
patient.
his side, and does it
pat him
do
on
it
the
quite
head
well.
lovingly.
Yeah.
I won't see your fight tomorrow, but I hope you do well.
He seems quite content. So is there anything else that anybody wants to do this evening before we start the 5th day of the Revels?
Nope.
Okay. So everyone go ahead and mark off your long rest for any purposes that you need to take a long rest. One by one, you wake up to the smell of breakfast kind of permeating throughout the interior of the ship. As the twins are up and cooking, they have created a table of just casual fare for you to pull from and eat if you choose to. Most of the crew is hungover quite heavily and kind of holding on to their heads and leaning over, partially eating plates of food.
Are they
Kind of-
actually twins or just sisters?
Sisters.
Okay. Because I was getting them confused with the triplets.
No, I call Teresa and Colin the twins whenever they play in my games. It just popped into my head.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, no, they're just the sisters are cooking this morning. Well, don't you lot look peaked. Amanda kind of looks over Clark. Shut up, you always talk so loud in the morning. She just kind of smirks and puts a plate of oatmeal in front of him. Well, today is fight day, if you plan on fighting. You guys watch as a very awake and happy Gatharn comes wandering out of his cot space and into this communal kind of eating space, stone cold sober, coming off an extended rest. He looks quite happy.
I've already taken off my ring of protection. I took off the necklace of blink. I'm only wearing just a standard kilt. I
Okay.
took off my fetish necklace. So yeah, all I'm wearing is a kilt.
And there to just emblazon the day is the shiny, happy Jin.
Oh, Mr. Catharn, you have little schmutz on the right there. Just it's like dribbled on the corners of your mouth. There you go. What is that?
Tastes like soup,
Okay.
which is a pleasant surprise. Usually it tastes like vomit.
Well, as first mate, I order you to fill up before you go out to fight.
Oh, here's comes an awkward conversation.
Well, go on, Mr. Catharn. The sisters made plenty of food for you.
I'm gonna eat, but you should talk to the captain.
Well, he's not up yet, and as soon as I am the most senior officer awake,
You watch
Go
as
ahead,
Omni
eat up.
comes walking out of the captain's quarters.
Captain,
Ah, shit.
First mate Jin here was just saying that I should eat up for my fight.
he's a growing boy, and he needs his friends. There's one of them. Where's the two green friends?
Jin,
Little green friends.
Jin, can you
Jin
come
gets
into,
on all fours. starts
Jin, come into
scurrying
my
around.
quarters. Come into the captain's quarters.
Okay.
Close the door and have the annoying, painful conversation. So the Omni you thought was with you the last day was one of the sisters posing as us, and you missed a lot. You missed a lot because at a
Well,
certain
it sounds
time
like you missed a lot.
yeah, it's true. Almost died, but fortunately, you and
Obviously, you're still
Gathon
here, so I
and
did
Medi saved us.
well. Medi, Ugh.
Medi did most of the slaying.
Well, I'm
Quite
not
a-
surprised that she also does a lot of the slaying when we're on board. Too,
The fact
so-
was, you were there as well. So was Gatharn. It was a group effort, but we're just letting you missed it all. You weren't there for it.
No,
Another
I'm pretty
version of
sure-
you was.
Don't be silly, Captain. There's only one Jin.
Shut
I'm
up.
an original. Oh,
Just take our word for it. You don't remember anything that happens at night, do you? You don't even think there is a night. You don't know what the moon is. We had this conversation with you the other day.
no, I don't know what the night is because I'm asleep at night.
Yeah.
Regular people go to bed at night, and then you
Okay,
go,
that's
and
not
then you wake up, and it's the
Nope.
daytime,
Nope.
and you're fine, and you
It's
feel
completely different.
rejuvenated. And what?
completely different. Completely
What do you
different for
mean?
you.
Everybody goes to bed at night, Captain. Are you trying to pull a fast one up? Did Medi put you up to this?
You're in the captain's quarters. You don't see Medi anywhere.
Yeah. Is she around here somewhere? Is she invisible? I
I'll
start
pull
kicking around the
I'll
cabin.
pull up a handheld mirror and just hold it up to him and just, what do you see when you look at this?
Are you looking at it too?
No, I'm pointing
No.
it towards you. I'm asking you.
Okay. So
Who
you
is
see,
Jin?
you see AM Jin's face, but as I'm looking into the mirror, it's a completely different expression on the mirror.
So who is it that you see? Who
I
are
see myself.
you? Yeah?
Do you ever take a peek at the mirror?
Maybe in a question or two.
Yeah.
But when you see yourself,
Mm-hmm.
do you see a bright, bubbly, happy-go-lucky, Skippy-Doo, singing lemons and limes throughout the day?
Yeah, he's right there. I wave at the mirror.
I peek around the corner and look back at it.
The image in the mirror kind of just... Jin hasn't moved, but it looks over at you. Stern expression.
So Medi's first mate.
Well, no, she could be second mate. I'm first mate.
but that title was given to you by somebody who wasn't the captain. It was an imposter. And the people that you hired, some of them unfortunately had to leave.
Okay. Can I leave now?
Like kicking a puppy.
Right?
Kicking a puppy.
I would like to leave.
Jin, this doesn't... You still have
I'm-
value,
I'm-
and we still
I'm
need
going
you to
to
be
leave
part of
now.
the ship.
And
Okay.
Jin kind of just backs up towards the door and opens it up. It's like, okay. And he just walks out.
All right, great. This is part of it. This is part of captaincy, I guess.
Medi and Gatharn, you watch as a very despondent Jin exits Omni's quarters.
Gatharn has nothing nice to say, so he just eats.
Just shoveling food into your mouth.
We'd like to go and place some bets and also potentially sign up for the fights, if that's still happening. We also need to try and find a cleric to hire, and if Keth ends up coming to the ship today, because we know that Gatharn had given them that invite, we'll want to talk to them, and we have to go and tell Thorvald what our decision is. But primarily we want to get to the fights, because we want to get to the fights.
The change of mood out amongst the Revels is distinct. It's different. Other than the hungover crowds moving about like they normally do in the morning of the Revels, there are many excited groups, knots of people collecting together, exchanging side bets. You watch as crowds of people are escorting their chosen fighters through the roads and through the alleyways, and there's like kind of MMA style trolling going on the whole time. You watch as a real large bugbear goes over and shoves an elf, and the two of them pretend like they're about to get into a fight, and all the crowds like pull them apart. Save it for the match, save it for the match. They kind of bark and yell at each other and pushing the crowd deeper and deeper towards the outer ward. As the four of you kind of follow this crowd into the Revels, a genuine interest in the betting tables, making your way into the outer ward and seeing where all these great like fighting pits have been assembled, made of scaffolding and rope and everything, and there's just massive crowds of people. And you can see in the very center of this a great kind of like dais, a wooden kind of platform has been built, and on it you watch as Thorvald is standing there.
Well, it's everybody's favorite day. The fights. In 2 days, the Revels will be concluded.
And you see that he's kind of got something held up to his throat as he's booming this out across everybody. Everybody kind of, and turn to look to see what Thorvald has to say.
As all of you know, some of our captains have left early. Some of you have been experiencing a sense of dread, confusion. You've allowed these silly rumors to affect you. I can assure you, everything is perfectly fine. There's nothing at all to worry about. Enjoy the fights. Place your bets. If you think last year's Revels were amazing, this one's is by far the most amazing. I want to call the first fight myself, if you don't mind.
You watch as Thorvald reaches into like a leather bag and then reaches into another leather bag.
First up, Morecambe. Where are you, big heifer? You watch as the massive minotaur crawls into one of the fight pits. Right here, boss. Right here. And you pulls another tab. This should be really good. This is going to be a fun one. Gatharn, you here, mate?
Yeah.
Everybody watches this small form of kind of like solidly built Gnorc kind of makes his way under the bottom rope by just kind of lifting the bottom rope and easily walks underneath it. For Jin and Medi and Omni, give me a perception check as this is kind of playing out. You're watching as this huge Minotaur is standing there. This little tiny form of Gatharn entering the ring. The two square off as Tharivol begins to. So, martial rules. No magic. No help. Straight up fight. First man down and can't get back up. Excuse me. First person down and can't get back up loses. Last person standing wins. Now, place your bets before we start the match. And you watch as the tables
strips out of his kilt.
Okay. You watch as the tables begin to bustle with bets being exchanged. People rushing towards and all betting on Morecambe at this point. You just watch as coin purses are being piled over. There's a small queue of people. Clark is over there as well. Almost the entire crew is over there betting on Gatharn at this point. There's one particular orc over there that you thought for sure would have been on Raylene's ship, but he was not. As you see Labash by himself kind of betting at one of the tables, kind of muttering to himself about a sure thing. And, you know, for you, Gatharn, standing there, sizing up this opponent, give me a perception check really quick. Jin, Medi, and Omni, what did you get for your perception checks?
Nah.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
Jin's just staring at his boots. He got a 5.
Okay.
19.
19. There is a series of tribal tattoos on this Minotaur that you do not recognize whatsoever, Gatharn. But clearly, he is part of a clan, a family, a unit of some kind. The nature of the tattoos don't make much sense to you. But you do recognize a series of winner's marks on his one arm from his bicep down to his elbow. He's fought in the Revels and in the pit fights multiple times. You can see the 2 or 3 dozen kind of like striations on his bicep that tells you that he has won many times. He stands in front of you, his big massive arms crossed. You gotta be kidding me. Really? Just looks at you. You could back out now. There'd be no harm if you decided to back out.
Yeah, there would. I wouldn't be able to fight.
Ah, aren't you a spry young thing? For a second there, I thought maybe you were a goblin, but that couldn't be possible, right?
Nope, not a goblin.
Rolls. Damn it.
As a 16, so yeah, I'm good.
Oh, shit.
Thought for sure that would work. Rumor has it you've got quite a temper. Well, let's get this show on the road. And you watch as he rears back with his massive hand coming directly at you. Roll for initiative, please.
Yeah. So we've placed bets.
Yeah, I'll say you guys can place these bets as this goes on.
21.
Okay. Let's get a little combat music going here.
Oh, shoot. It got serious. Wait a second. If we're getting there, then we need to... Yeah.
Yeah, it did get serious. There's been a helicopter flying over for the past like half hour, and now a bunch of sirens just lit up. So like,
Look
So
at that
with
size
He's
difference.
flying.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
And he comes
And he's still
rushing in at you, Gatharn. What'd you get for your initiative?
21.
21. The massive fist coming directly at your face. That is a 26 to hit.
Yep.
Take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. It's a crack shoe right in the face, staggering you back a few feet as the two of you are now toe to toe. Well, hoof to mouth. Yeah, that might be a little bit too big. I'm gonna. There we go.
Okay. That's a little bit more.
I was having a little fun with it because it was pretty funny.
That's dope. I'm loving Tailspire for these battles and imagery. It helps a lot.
Yeah, I can't wait for them to integrate with Hero Forge, and then we can make our own little custom minis and just send it into Jason.
Right?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I agree. So with that, you guys watch as these two forms just clash toe to toe. The first throw to the Minotaurs, it slams Gatharn in the jaw, pushing him slightly back a few feet. Gatharn, what would you like to do?
Attack.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, I'm just gonna step in. How big is he?
He's roughly 10 feet tall.
So large.
He is large.
Cool. I'm getting right between his legs.
At least make
Giggity.
me dinner first.
That's not Gatharn's style, I can assure you.
I was talking to Brandon.
So I'll get between his legs, and then I'm gonna kneecap him.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Both attacks are crits. 2 natural 20s.
What?
2 natural 20s for both attacks.
Grab his dick
Fucking
and twist it.
hell.
Jason, did you want us to
I don't
tell you
know,
what the
can
amount
you
that we
see
had
that?
bet on Gatharn?
Can you see
Sure.
that? I'm not sure if you guys can see that because I got the fucking weird camera off my laptop. But yeah, 2 natural 20s on my
Jason,
first
you can
attack.
literally go up into the other room and see.
I know, right?
Okay,
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, feel free. Absolutely.
So I'm sticking to that original statement of 1,000 platinum on Gatharn.
Okay. As you make that bet at the table, I'm sorry, sir. We have a maximum to our bets. I can accept 100 platinum.
I show them the brooch of the whispering ear and persuade them to accept any offer and bet that I put on the table.
Give me persuasion with advantage.
Give me those two
yeah.
nat ones.
Oh yeah, no, we're looking at 26.
Okay. Oh, well, in that case, most certainly takes your 1,000 platinum bet.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and double the dice.
You're about to be a millionaire in gold, man.
So for the first hit, that is 12 damage,
Okay.
and the second hit is 10 damage for a total of 22.
Just watch as a small form of Gatharn just brings his knee up, pivots off the ankle of the Minotaur, and just brings the knee just straight up into the exposed genitalia of the Minotaur, which quite large and quite easy to find. And the Minotaur's motherfucker.
Grapple.
Yeah, bitch. Twice.
Too bad that's an action. You watch as he
No,
looks down.
I got
not.
Tavern Brawler. It's not.
Oh
an action.
yeah,
It's
that's
a
right.
bonus.
As long as I make a successful hit, I can grapple.
You guys watch
He's
as
just dangling from
Gatharn
his
is
backpack.
now hanging on to the scrotum of the Minotaur. The crowd
Yes.
is just roaring around. The Minotaur looks down to see you, and he just brings an open palm down on the top of your head, And while he does that, you just watch as his eyes just go into a distinct rage as he begins to bring his open palm down towards you.
You got that damage on him before he was in a rage.
Give
so
me
it's
an
not halved.
give me an athletics check, please.
That is 24.
I rolled a 32. You watch as the Minotaur grabs you by the top of your head and flings you across the ring. Give me dex save, please.
Okay. That is 19 plus 4, 23.
23. You land onto your feet as he breaks your grapple, and then he charges into you, running directly into you with both his hands in front and his one good horn down, and he slams into you. Give me a strength save, please.
That's not considered a weapon?
21.
21. Bam!
No.
You manage to take the brunt of the effect as you take half of 21 points of bludgeoning damage. So take only 10 points of bludgeoning damage as he slams into your midriff. And you kind of grapple onto his head and hold him as the two of you are now engaged once again.
Okay. You just see Gathard laughing with glee. I'm going to... just for shits and giggles, because now he's basically crouched down at my, like we're like eye level.
Yeah,
right?
he's like down at you like that, yeah.
I'm going to punch him in the eye.
Roll.
All right, so first hit was 17 plus 7, I think. So
24 will hit.
Yeah, so 24. Let me go to attacks. Yeah. So that was the first one, and then the second one. It's another crit.
Jeez. He must be using those fucking metal dice.
No, I'm using my old freaking green dice I've had for like 20 years.
As always, times 2 or twice the dice.
So the first hit will just be for 8 damage.
Okay.
And then the second hit, the crit, will be for 12 damage.
Okay. As the two of you are now embraced with each other, you watch as one knee comes up at your shoulder. You get the feeling he's being reckless with this round.
Okay.
28 for the first
Hits.
knee. And then 29 for the second knee. Slam! Slam! For a total of 24 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And this time with his bonus action, you watch as he goes to try to grab you and grapple onto you. Go ahead and give me an athletics check, please.
That is 24.
24. You easily slip out of the grasp as he too tries to use Tavern Brawler on you, but he doesn't seem quite as good at it as you are.
Okay. So now I get advantage for both my attacks.
Yep.
First attack. 23.
23 will just barely hit.
And then the second attack. Another 23.
Yep, both will hit. Go ahead and give me damage.
All right. 15 damage.
15 points of damage. You watch as he takes your strikes. You can see a little trickle of blood coming out of the Minotaur corner of his mouth. He's just, well, if I would have known, I would have been put up against a scrapper like you. And you just watch as he brings an elbow down towards the top of your head while trying to give you a side kick at the same time. He's being reckless. That's an 18.
Barely hits.
And a 17. You watch as the elbow manages to connect with your sternum as he brings it down into you for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
The two of you now kind of turning and moving directly in front of each other.
All right, 2 attacks. 24 for the first one.
That'll hit.
Second one is another 24.
That'll hit as well. Give me your damage.
Let's see, 5 and 8 is 13 damage.
13 damage. You're focusing on the calves, the legs. A quick right hook to the exposed scrotum as you feel your fist just sink in to the loose meat, and you just grab, motherfucker, and he like kicks out at you. For 19,
Hits.
taking 6 points of bludgeoning damage from the kind of like half kick. And then you watch as a left cross comes across into your chest for a 14, and you
Miss.
kind of dodge out of the way. It slams into the ground. The two of you go back to kind of like circling each other.
All right. This wasn't reckless this time, right?
That was not reckless, no.
All right. So first attack, 25. Second attack,
Okay.
for 17.
17 will miss. 25 will hit. Your first kick missing his shin, but you left hook up into his midriff yet again.
7 damage.
Okay. You motherfucker. And it just brings both hands straight down on top of your head. And slam! You watch as the planks blister and crack as you kind of move out of the direction at the last moment. And then you watch as an elbow comes sweeping towards your chin. You duck underneath it. You watch as the elbow. I just did 2 really crappy rolls in a row. And now you're circling with him again. Kind of, there's a little bit of tiredness in his steps. His muscles kind of not quite as, like, he seems more wary of you at this point.
Okay. Another 2 attacks.
Okay.
First one is 22.
22 will miss. As you watch as your skin sinks into his muscle stomach and just rebounds out.
And then the second one is 26.
26 will hit.
For 6 damage.
Nice. 2 of you square off yet again. You watch after you pull back that second punch. Your watch as this huge Minotaur knee comes crashing in your frontal direction for 24 for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then the hoof comes out, tries to slam down into your shin and literally almost trying to step on you, and slams into the floor next to you as you dodge out of the way.
Okay. All right, 2 attacks. Well, that one's gonna miss. That was a 1. So that's an 8 to hit.
An 8, yeah, that'll miss, definitely.
And then, second one misses as well.
Okay.
With a 20.
Taking advantage. Yeah, taking advantage of getting tired, little goblin. And you watch as this fish just comes flying directly at your face.
Made it.
22, that'll hit, I believe.
Yep.
And then another pile driver of a fist. 29, as you take a total of 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
How's he looking? Oh, Gatharn is on the finishing legs. Oh, no.
No, I've got about a quarter health left.
Jeez.
The two of them are now circling each other, focused. Knuckles are cracking. Blood is dripping from the Minotaur's mouth.
There's no way of taking that
showing
axe
up.
out of his hand.
Well, he's not. He doesn't have the axe. But no, I don't. I can't.
Just saying, he should be disqualified.
All right, so 27 for the first hit, or 26. Yeah,
Yep,
26
that'll hit.
for the first hit.
That'll hit.
The second hit is no, that's only going to be a 19 to hit
Yep, that one will miss.
for 8 damage.
You just boom, punch him like right in the gonad.
Oh, God, why are you so fucking short?
Fuck! And he just bellows at you as he recklessly brings down 2 more hammer fist blows on top of you. That would be a natural 1 and a 2. You watch as the first blow slams into the ground. You watch as plank and board go splintering off to the side of you. The second one, same exact thing. The board.
Stand still, you little fucker! Stand still!
And
Jason,
he's
what
just,
bad thing happens to him on his nat ones? Because I feel like bad things happen to us on ours.
but he's reckless.
Ah!
He's reckless. So he's rolling with advantage. So he can't roll a nat 1 right now unless he rolls double nat 1s. And this Minotaur just slamming into. God
Love to
damn,
see it.
fucking hold still. The crowd is just roaring. They've never seen a fight last this long with Morecambe. And they're just new bets are being thrown onto the table. You watch as people are pounding on the ground, and like even the table keepers are like looking beyond and just watching this fight. Even Thorvald's just kind of like hands on hips, just watching this play out.
Okay.
I'd like to
Alright.
whisper to Medi,
2 attacks.
if we were to make a move to try and get the flag, do you think now would be the time?
23.
23 will just miss.
Okay. And 24.
24 will just hit. Your first punch right into his sternum. He clumsily moves out of the way, but then you use that as an opportunity to bring your knee up into his scrotum sac yet again.
7 damage.
7 damage. Oh, fuck you! And he just staggers under that strike. His whole, like, groin area is now swollen. There's even a small trickle of blood kind of coursing down the inside of his leg as he's beginning to drag his hoof slightly behind him. Ah, fuck it! Ah, you just watch as he, like, suddenly his whole body just like explodes with a little bit more size and energy as he action surges directly into you. You watch as 4 hammer blows in reckless succession coming down on top of you. That is a 17.
Miss.
That is a 23.
That'll hit.
That is a 14.
Miss.
And a dirty 20.
That'll hit.
You take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as these series of hammer blows are coming down on top of you. You hear your shoulder and clavicle crack under the massive pounding that you're taking. And you stagger. He kind of staggers back from you. And he's just
I'm gonna get a Gatharn chant going. Gatharn, Gatharn, Gatharn. Trying to get everybody in the audience to potentially like take some wind out of this dude's sails a little bit.
give me persuasion check.
All right. 2 more attacks.
Oh yeah.
24.
And with advantage because he is reckless.
Yeah, so 24 was the first attack.
That'll hit.
Second one 18 plus 7, 25.
25. That'll hit as well. Give me your damage.
All right.
23 persuasion.
And from next to Omni, Medi has disappeared.
Okay.
12 damage
Good to know.
total.
Oh, and Omni would have given you the Ring of Advantage last night because of the attuning time.
Fair enough. You guys watch as the Minotaur staggers, and there's this like rupturing sound, and this oozing liquid and something large and meaty falls to the ground as the scrotum is ripped open, and one of the balls just come out on the ground. And
Rocky Boy no stars.
I yell out, "That's gonna look great on your necklace!"
I don't think it'll
just-
fit on my necklace.
The Minotaur is just staggering and looking at it. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna fucking kill you. You motherfucker. And he just like, he picks it up and he uses it as a tool and rams it like right into your face. 21.
That'll hit.
And then the second one is a 19.
That'll hit.
He just takes the meaty remnants of his own ball and starts hammering it on top of your head as he's like, you can feel a bone come sticking out of your shoulder as you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage from this meaty ball just boom, boom, coming down on you.
For a second, the Catharin's like, does that count as a weapon?
Well, you gave it to me, you son of a bitch. And he's just smacking you over the head with it.
I'm going
Oi,
to bite
that's
it.
a weapon!
It's still pretty much attached to him, right?
Yeah, there's a tendril of meat kind of like, coming out from between his legs.
Oh.
Just skin and scrotum and just a growing pool of blood.
That's a
Red
delicacy,
card!
baby.
Red card, I'm uncomfortable! Red card!
That's a delicacy right there.
Did he attack reckless or was it
Got some
regular?
breadcrumbs.
It was regular.
Okay,
Fry it
first
up.
hit.
With a nice Chianti. Mm.
Wait, does
That's
AM
just a
Gin
14.
cook?
Second hit.
AM Jin's pissed at you, so don't fucking talk to me right now, Jay.
Second hit is 27. 26.
That'll hit.
26.
What was your
And then
first one?
It was just 14.
Okay, that one will miss.
Yeah. So for 5 damage, and then I'm going to grapple on that tendril that's still freaking hanging from his freaking nut to his leg.
Okay.
That's got to be the nerve, right? That's the nerve. Or would that technically be the vas deferens? Is that what's dangling there?
And then I'm just gonna grip onto it like super
Welcome to
tight.
your vasectomy, motherfucker.
And as a reaction, he just and he kind of like staggers backwards, kind of dragging you with him as he drags you through the pool of blood, and you're just holding on to that last vestige and tendril of connective tissue, and he staggers and spins you around as he's trying to like elbow down into you and kick you away from him.
So he's trying to break the grapple.
Yeah, he's gonna he's trying to break it. So that's a 23
For athletics or to hit?
athletics.
Okay. Mine is a 24.
24. You managed to hang on. You're now swinging like
Grit and
rope
teeth,
style
baby.
around. And at the last minute, you hear like a tendon snap. And you watch as he just collapses onto his knees. And then he falls onto the ground. Prone. He turns over onto his stomach. And then suddenly just, I will not lose to this motherfucker. I only need one ball to make this work. And he immediately gets up. And then you recognize he's got the same ability that you do as an orc. He's clearly down to 1 hit point. He stands on his hooves, turns towards you, puts his head down, and then begins to charge directly into you like he did previously.
Dex save.
Strength save.
Oh.
Make
Got
it, you
that
little
charging
goblin.
feat.
That's 24.
24, that'll save. You take half of 22 points of bludgeoning damage. Take 11 points.
All right. I am at 1 hit point because I'm doing the same thing he just did.
Yeah, you guys watch as Gathar just splays out onto the fighting surface, seemingly unconscious, and then suddenly he's back on his feet, looks at the Minotaur.
Crowd
and
goes wild.
Charges in. The crowd is so loud that Medi, as you're making your way, I'm assuming, towards the headquarters, there are just crowds of people surging past your invisible form. You can hear the fight off in the distance, the raucous nature of the yelling and the screaming just causing everyone to be pulled in. You even watch as a patrol of Thorvald's guards kind of, I ain't missing this, and they just go tearing away. And you watch as the garden space and entry point into the magistrate's headquarters is now mostly empty. Give me a stealth check really quick.
With advantage. With advantage?
The look on her face,
With
that was
double
great.
advantage?
I don't think we get double advantage.
It doesn't quite work that way.
14.
Oh, it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
That caboose me knocking over everything.
Caboose. You kind of make your way in between two guards that haven't left their post, and one of them kind of looks where you should be, tilts his head, and then shakes it, and doesn't really think much about it. The two of them go back to having a conversation. Gatharn. Did you
Did
roll
he
a hit?
attack reckless? No. Was it reckless or not reckless?
It was reckless.
All right. Then.
So you have advantage.
Natural 20.
Oh, snap.
For
What is
the
that,
first
4?
hit.
That's like 4 tonight? 4 natural 20s tonight?
Yep.
Yep.
Good Lord. That's insane.
The second one is 24 to hit.
24. Both will hit. You only
for the
need to
first
do 1
damage?
point. He's only got 1 hit point left, so.
Yeah. So for the crit, double the damage. That's 6 plus 4, so 10 damage.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna withhold the final punch as I notice he's basically unconscious.
Yeah, he's like collapses onto the fighting pit, unconscious. And you just hear the crowd go apeshit. You could hear tables overturning. People start to flood and rush into the fight pit. And you're just immediately picked up and carried amongst a throng of individuals. They're all chanting.
Ow, 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 ow.
They're chanting, Gathard, 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 Gathard. As you recognize, they're now taking you in the direction of the tavern in the den. And they're just, there's stunned onlookers of bettors. There's hundreds of people that betted on the Minotaur and very few that betted on you. There's happy faces moving about you. Let's cut to Medi, because Medi is being a bad girl.
But real quick before we do that, how much did my 1,000 platinum yield in payouts? Because you said bets were going on throughout the fight, so I'm assuming that more added to the pool or something.
Give
It
me
was like
an
198 to 1.
Give me 198 to 1, but give me an investigation as you look for the table that you made the bet with.
Oh, I was standing there the whole time. I never left there.
Yeah.
Investigation 18.
18. Standing there, looking at him, You get the feeling he's hurriedly packing up.
I'll take out my weapons because we have those.
Give me intimidation check.
Cool. Ooh. Where is it? 8 plus 15, 23.
Oh, don't worry. I was just looking for what I owed you. That's all. It's looking. Now, I wasn't really expecting him to win. I don't have enough to cover your bet.
Yeah, you do.
No, I really, really, really don't. I really don't have enough to cover your bet.
You do. You're going to get all of it.
Well, I can't get it all now. And he kind of hands over a very heavy, large iron box to you. This is all I have, I swear. This is all I have. I mean, who would have thought Morecambe would have lost? Holy fucking Christ. Oh, why? You just watch as other gambling tables are like, there's a couple that bet heavily on Morecambe, and you can tell they're all, oh, gee, oh my God.
You're going to go and
shit.
collect from them.
They're not part of my group. I can't collect from them. They were all independent. You know that. Or at least you should know that.
How much
Kind
is
of
in the
stares
box?
He stares at you a little suspiciously.
How
You
much is
kind of
in the
open up
box?
the box. There's at least 10,000 platinum in the box. It's heavy. It's large. It's going to take all of your ability to be able to move this thing back to the ship.
I'm going to ask, hold out your hand.
He holds
Hold
out
out
his
your hand.
He holds it out.
I'm going to take my dagger and cut his hand.
What'd you do that for? I gave you all my money. What do you...
Because now, we'll be able to find you anywhere. You
What?
owe us.
What?
The odds were
how-
198 to 1. There's only
Well, yeah, who would have thought he was going to fucking win, the little
That's
goblin?
not how gambling works.
Yeah, I know how it works. He's like rubbing his hand. That really hurt. Didn't have to stab me.
It's just a little cut. But now we'll always be able to find you. So you will get us all of our money. We don't care how. As long as you don't hurt innocent people.
He grabs his table and his little folding chair and he holds it. Yeah, I'll get you your fucking money. He kind of slinks
What's your
off
name, by the way?
He slinks off into the crowd, ignoring you.
Yeah, find him later. I'll keep the, I'll wrap the dagger in cloth and keep it saved for Medi.
Fair enough. Medi, you make your way through the entry chamber. There's that familiar door that will get you access to Thorvald's office. It's closed. Looks to be locked as well.
Who's anybody around?
Give me a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Not that you could see. You can still hear the sounds of the rebels outside. You're now standing directly in front of the door. It's definitely locked. Looking around, you don't see anybody.
There's a
No one seems-
trapped.
Give me an investigation check.
She's like, is it trapped? By normal mundane means. No? Investigation? Okay, what about Arcana? Do I want to... How many rolls can I have before touching this door, Jason?
26.
26. There is an alarm glyph on it.
Knew it. Is that a thing that